Wow, what's up, everybody? Look at that. Look at that. It's Mitch and Nancy. They're having issues. They're having major issues. Mitch and Nancy. What's up, everybody? So great to see you all tonight. Is that Nancy Pelosi? Yeah, that's Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell having a race to get out of the hospital. CF Rob, good to see you. Miss Hacker, awesome to have you here. Shadow Bannings, what's up? Shadow-ings, what's up? Great to see you. Miss Gatlin, awesome to see you. Denichi, good to see you. 1958 Les Paul Jr. Hey, what's up? B Hops, awesome to see you. Great. Glad to everybody here. Everybody's here. You thought so? Yeah. Great to have everybody here tonight. So before we start tonight, I got to address something that happened yesterday in the chat. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah. What's up? How you doing? So I want everybody in the chat to feel welcome and appreciated and not have any feel like they're being picked on or being bullied or made fun of. We can disagree on things and we can have discussions, but we shouldn't be calling people names or doing anything like that. So we need to make sure we don't do that anymore. Some people left some comments and contacted me about it, and they felt upset, basically, that I didn't step in, which I guess I should have. But I don't, I want you guys to be able to talk to each other and get along or not get along, disagree, agree, but just be, respectful and don't, no name calling. That's all. Okay. Thanks. I know we're all adults, but let's be cool. No, feelings are gay. Yes, I know. So thank you, Dog Digger. Awesome. Yes, hit like, subscribe, and all that stuff. But anyway, there is a goal, as there is always, and I hope everybody appreciates it. And we can make a go of it, as they say. And for every $100 in total that comes in across all platforms, YouTube Super Chats, Rumble Rants, gifted memberships, also on YouTube and Rumble, and becoming a member on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Twitch, and Locals, along with Cash App, PayPal, Coffee, Ko-Fi, and Super Tips. We add it all up, and we hit 100. We add an extra hour to the show. And then for each additional $100 that comes in, we add another additional hour to the show. So the show could be as long as you guys want it to be. It could be 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. It could be however long, 6 hours, 8, 10, 12. It's all totally up to you guys. And then as an added bonus, when we hit 50, we activate Television unless somebody's so generous that they donate $20, $25 as an individual person, which that could be a Cash App, a PayPal, a Coffee, Ko-Fi, Super Tip. It could be Rumble Rant, gifted memberships, 5 of them, or Super Chat, whatever. You get it. We'll automatically activate Television. Didn't notice anything last night. Well, there was some disagreement in the chat. It wasn't, I don't know. It is what it is. I don't want to, I'm not calling anybody. I don't want any, it's just, I apologize if I offended anybody. It's not my goal. I want to make people laugh. I'm feeling welcome now. Appreciated, isn't in the mood, and won't give consent to be felt. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. Adults, not a chance. Well, I'm trying. I'm trying. I wonder if I put bleach on my ankles, if the mini mosquito bites will go away. I thought maybe, this is not medical advice, but I remember like an old wives' tale about ammonia. I don't know if that's true or not. So maybe look into that. Not bleach, but ammonia for some reason. Although, I don't know. Could be I could be wrong. Anyway, we got a whole bunch of news stories to get into tonight. A whole bunch. All right. A whole heap of news stories. Of course, the first thing we're gonna talk about is Iran, because why not? Leave for one night and people go nuts. Yeah, well, it happens. You're gonna try bleach. Okay, be back in a bit. All right. Well, I did not recommend that. So, yeah. So Iran and the U.S. trade jabs in the Strait of Hormuz, and they both claim to control it. A raid from Robert Gavea. That's awesome. Ammonia for jellyfish? Ammonia for something. I'm not sure. So.
Deal. And then they broke it. They always break it. We've had 10 deals with these people. And so we're just going to hit them very hard. And we're going to keep the strait, and we'll probably run it. We'll become the guardian of the strait. Maybe we'll call it the guardian angel of the strait.
For more on this, we're joined by CBS News International.
Thank you for the raid, Muffin Rando, and everybody from Robert.
I was chuckling there at the press.
So great that everyone's here. I really appreciate everybody. Please, if you've never been here before, please stick around for a little while. Give us a chance. Maybe hit the like button. Maybe hit subscribe. Check it out. Stick around. Yes, thank you to the Rob Ray. Just Rhonda, good to see you. Michelle, good to see you. Mama Pillow, awesome to have you. Great Eagle, good to see you. Awesome. So yeah, what's it say? Barnes said Trump condemns Iran for talking about charging a 2% fee for exiting the strait. So what does he do? He demands 20%. Well, just for when we have to secure it. We're spending a bunch of money so that these ships can get through, because Iran is bombing everybody and blowing stuff up. So, Strait of Hormuz is in waters that don't belong to all the U.S. Yeah, no, I know. They don't belong to us. Not really our problem. But if we're keeping it safe, shouldn't we get paid? Maybe a little bit, something. Hey, Kelly J, good to see you. Thanks for being here.
President's comments about the Guardian. He's a New Yorker. The Guardian Angels are a very New York group. The president would have been familiar with them back in the 80s when they were very popular. But to serious matters now, both sides are claiming they control the Strait of Hormuz. Clearly, it does seem that Iran is the one controlling it, because no ships are going to try to move through the Strait of Hormuz.
Clearly, Iran's the one controlling it. Are you serious with this guy? Iran's controlling the Strait of Hormuz? Yes, Dan, that's right. Shower Jim with adoration and admiration. Run your feet under hot water in a tub. Get enough where it's not scalding. Make it feel like you're scratching the whole area with your fingernails. Oh, okay. Didn't do legit research? Oh, yeah, I saw this one about the woman. I'll pull it up. Oh, geez, you mean I have to be an adult here? Well, you don't have to be, Ms. Mo, but just don't, just please try not to make anybody feel like they're being picked on is all in the chat. I don't know. I'd like to think everybody could give as well as they take, but I don't want anyone to feel like they don't belong and they're not welcome. Unless they're a crazy troll, then they're not welcome. Gavea refugee Brenda, thank you for being here. Turkey charges to pass through their strait. Well, there you go, Mban. There you go. They want to number the whole area. Okay. Numb the whole area. Oh, numb the whole area. Hey, Gigi's mom, thanks for being here. Off Lego podcast is late. Oh, late tonight? well, hang out. If you don't have anything nice to say, use emotes. There you go. Definitely. That's how I feel about it. If you don't have anything nice to say, they're probably a Democrat. Smack that like button. Yeah, there you go.
Whilst Iran is able to attack them with drones.
So to cut through this, it's definitely an escalation between both sides. It's troublesome, it's worrisome. It's not just this low-level attacking, but it's really reached several Gulf countries. If you go back to the memo of understanding, many analysts on X have been joking since the beginning that it's the memo of misunderstanding. And one key thing that I pointed out then was the maritime control. And in the language of the memo of understanding, it's been interpreted by Iran that they control it, because it said there would be exchange on maritime services, consultation with Oman and other Gulf countries, and that Iran would make arrangements using its best efforts for the Strait of Hormuz. But clearly, we're at a different point right now. The president is very angry. He's been using language throughout the week. There have been kill Trump signs throughout the processions of the former Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Khamenei. And he's not using any language that looks like they're backing down.
Okay. Well, they're not backing down, neither are we. So Trump says the U.S. will be the guardian of the Strait of Hormuz and is reinstalling the Iranian blockade. President Trump said on Monday that the U.S. will be the guardian of the Strait. The USA will be, from this point on, known as the guardian of the Strait, the guardian angel of the Straits. Yes, the guardian angel. Ray Costello, mainstream media's Communist Front. Boycott them. I do. I got to get the stuff from somewhere. We try to cut through the bull crap, though. Got to slice right through. Jay Schwartz, awesome to have you here, bud. Thanks for being here. Yes. Hey, what's up? Yeah. So it says he wants to be reimbursed 20% on all cargo shipped for any and all costs necessary to do the job of providing safety. American Dreamer, so great to see you tonight. Thanks for being here. He also said the U.S. is reinstalling its blockade. All other countries will have fair, open use of the strait, adding it will remain open with or without Iran. President told Fox News that the U.S. is going to keep the strait and will probably run it. Will be the guardian angel of the strait. He didn't name any countries he expected would pay under such an agreement, but implied the Persian Gulf oil producers should. When we do that, we're going to be reimbursed because the other nations are very wealthy. They're on our side, and we can't be expected to do that for nothing. Well, that's good. Yeah, all right. We guarded it for nothing, and now we're going to guard it. We're going to get paid for guarding it a lot of money. The strait was open to all vessels before the U.S. and Israel launched their joint war. Well, can't have them have a nuclear weapon. All this stuff. Iran argued that the vaguely worded memorandum signed by the U.S. gave it the right to control the shipping, which it didn't. It wasn't vaguely worded. God, we got this media. I'm sorry for swearing. This media they're traitors. They are. They hate America. They're just whatever. Always like, oh yeah, that's what the thing said. About time we started making some money for OCM. Yeah. Ocean, man, for the ocean. Yeah. So it's Monday, Iran accused the U.S. of having done nothing but violate the agreement since day one and pushing vessels towards a dangerous southern parallel route. Why would the southern route be more dangerous? Oh, because you keep shooting drones and missiles at the ships that are in the northern route? That doesn't make any sense. You wish you had a pina colada. If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. It's called the only legal question, but also not only illegally questioned, but also unsafe. Oh, okay. So due to recent hostile actions by the U.S. forces, the strait's currently unfeasible. Oh, that's what Iran says. Well, they're still traveling through there. So they're still traveling through there as far as I know, but it seems that oil markets are ticking up. It's 78, 75 right now. It's been, 77, 86 to 79 all day long. So it's been like a $2 range, but it's a lot higher. It was like almost $68 the other day. So something's going on. Like somebody's panicking. Somebody's panicking. Somebody's definitely panicking. I hate the panicins. I don't like the panicins at all. So you love when I sing. Well, thank you. Trump suggested on Monday that the U.S. should get paid for guarding the strait came after weeks of condemnation, suggesting Iran would in the future charge commercial ship. Well, they're charging an extortion fee. We're saying if we're going to defend you from Iran shooting stuff at you, then we need to get paid for it. We're not doing it for free. There's a difference. We wouldn't be charging them once there's no danger. So you're thinking Iran is the good guy here? No, that would be wrong, Jonathan. That would be wrong. Hey, Mrs. T. Rush, how you doing? Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, so Trump's saying we're going to be the guardian angel of the passage. Trump says America, not Iran, will charge tolls for the strait. No, wrong one. Hit the wrong button. Sorry. So after a peace deal with a terrorist regime, President Trump has a new plan for the contested strait. The blockade is officially back in place against Iran's trade, and the ceasefire is over. The Ayatollahs have been demanding that every country sending ships through the strait pay tolls. Trump has decided to flip that script. Spotted around a dozen flying gas stations, either on station or inbound. Yeah, well, we're going to get to it. The strikes have been ongoing. Will I pretty please give your sweet puppy a hug and a kiss for you? I will definitely do that. YouTube stupid demon rat. There you go. No goal Monday. I forgot to start the goal. Oh, my Lord. I'm sorry. I forgot to start it. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. Thank you so much. Thank you. I will do it right now. I totally forgot. That means we're 95 away from a first additional hour and 45 away from Bellavision. My bad. I forgot to do it. I totally forgot to get it going. I'll do it right now on YouTube. Wow. My bad. I can't believe I forgot to do the goal on YouTube. I swear. It's Monday. It's Monday, Mondays. What are you going to do? Mondays. Thank you so much. All right. It's all set now. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me. I have to go do my life. Thanks for the time. All of the streams I watch. This is one. Well, thank you so much, M-Ban. Thanks for being here. Thank you for supporting the show. Definitely. Think President's still on tap to speak at 2100. Ooh, is he? That's probably means there's more stuff happening, I would imagine. So the blockade is officially back in place against Iran's trade. That's right. President Trump posted on Truth that Hormuz is open and will remain open with or without Iran. You know that. Having clarified the point, Trump continued all other countries will have free and fair open use of the strait. Let's say you've been a subscriber for quite some time. Just a glitch in the ethers. All is good. What happened? What do you mean? Was it telling you couldn't chat or something because you had to be a subscriber for a certain amount of time? It's supposed to be 5 minutes, I think. Bellavision. Well, Bellavision would work if, he's talking on Thursday. Okay. She couldn't chat. I swore I saw her in there earlier. You've been here the last few nights, but for some reason YouTube wouldn't let you chat. Are you serious? That's not good. That is not good. 2100 on Thursday? Thursday? Okay, not today. Thank you. Look at this. Oh, thank you so much. One gifted membership. That means right now we are $89 away from adding a first additional hour to the show and just $39 away from Bellavision. Thank you so much. Let's see who got that gifted membership. It says that Mismo SC received the gifted membership. There you go. Ta-da. Ta-da. Now you got the gifted membership. Welcome, Mismo. So the policy is likely to be extremely unpopular. Well, yeah. Particularly Muslim and woke European nations are going to be mad about it. It remains to be seen if Trump can enforce this new rule on other nations or not. Well, it's going to depend on if they want to pay or not. Yes, thank you. There you go. What's up, Kofi? Hold it down on the kick. Thanks for being here. Something is wrong with my right arm. Boy, does it hurt. So yesterday, using a one-way attack surface drone, CENTCOM forces successfully struck a submarine and ship maintenance facility in Iran. Look at this. Look at this thing just like, do. You see it going there? It's just like some kind of surface drone bomb thing. Look at that. Boing. Wow. Wow. So it feels good, does it? The bleach worked. All right. I know. I'm pretty sure. I know. Like ammonia will work because they put ammonia in those. Like they had the pens that were like that used to be like Afterbite, and they always smelled like ammonia to me. We totally stole their drones and made them way badass and accurate. Yes, yes, we did. IRGC celebrates Lindsey Graham's desk and publishes a list of target foes. Not smart. So that was not smart. And of course, the UN Maritime Agency comes out and says it opposes any transit fees in the Strait. Even though they're not transit fees, they're security fees. I should have stayed in RC boats. What fun. Yeah, a lot of fun. It's not easy being green, but it sure is fun. Stupid YouTube's change your text. I don't know. Hit the like, stalkers. Is that what you mean? It was supposed to be talkers or chatters? I need to switch to my standard account so I can get free memberships. This is a brand account. I never get free memberships. Oh. Still more expensive tech when buffing would do. Yeah, buffing would work great. Like if they would just let the buffs roll, it would take care of everything. Mrs. T. Rush says, I'm not going to lie. I'm glad Graham is out of the picture. He has done nothing but damage our country. I'm worried about Senate control at this point, though. I mean, who's going to run to take his place? Is someone else going to, I don't know. That's what I'm worried about. It's okay, cargo ship captains. They're just not getting your helm blown up donations. Yes. So the International Maritime Office said there is no legal basis for mandatory tolls. It's not a mandatory tolls. It's security fees for protection. Another rhino? Well, yeah, probably another rhino will take his place. That's the problem. Or a Democrat. That's the other problem. Right now, it's his daughter. It's not his daughter. It's his sister. It's his younger sister, who he raised from the time she was like 11 or 12. Their parents passed, and he raised her as his daughter or whatever. So the filing for the primary deadline is the 21st. Yeah. Doc says, Graham was a patriot, and what I've learned is the majority of the crap I was told about him was wrong. Typical. I mean, some of the stuff, he did, I will point out, he did kind of supposedly, allegedly, testify against Trump at the grand jury in Atlanta. So there's that. Hey, what's up? Waiting on Bella and Frisky. Well, thanks, Sweet Daydreams. Thanks for being here. So Iran has demanded tolls, but agreed to forego them for 60 days. Oh. So Trump demanded they receive payment of 20% for the protection, which, we should get paid something. And the Nordic American tanker CEO, we are not sending any tankers back through the strait. Oh, okay. Well, then you're an idiot. I would have thought Lindsey wanted a man to fill his seat. Well, he liked a man, Mr. Rubber Balls. He preferred a man for some things, I'm sure. I don't listen to gossip. I look at voting records, listen to what he actually said and did. Okay. I'm good now, Jim. The chat window was only half exposed and wouldn't let me type. I was just listened and read everyone else. Stop doing that motion. Oh, I was scratching my neck. Emergency primary next month. Okay. There's no legal basis through which to introduce mandatory tolls, simply to transit the strait. Well, it's not to transit the strait. It's for protection. It's for security guarantees. Graham legally adopted a sister when he was in the Air Force, so if anything happened to him, she would get his benefits. Okay. You're in Greenville. Oh, awesome. You know, a good friend of mine is in Greenville, right? His name's Anthony Cumia. He moved there a couple years ago. I've been actually thinking about moving to Greenville. Isn't Mace kind of being a traitor? Mace is acting, that's not what it looked like. I know what it looked like. Hit the 3 downward dots for settings and pop out chat and you get a whole new window. Yes. There you go. Trump said the U.S. military will protect ship traffic through the strait, but demanded reimbursement for the protection. Well, yeah, we got to be paid. It costs money. Them ships cost money. You pay those troops to do all that stuff. I mean, why should we always bear the cost? Hey, what's up, Dan? No problem. So, Nordic Tanker said that he views Trump's fee as unrealistic. Iran and the U.S. have to agree on how the strait will be administered. Oh, Anthony Cumia is a legend. Yeah, he is. Mm-hmm. And just in today at 4:45 p.m. Eastern Time, CENTCOM announced that President Trump is unleashing a huge wave of strikes against Iran. At 4:45, Central Command began launching a third consecutive night of strikes against Iran. These strikes will continue imposing a heavy cost on Iranian forces and degrade their ability to attack innocent civilian and commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. What would I think of Trey Gowdy? No. Trey Gowdy is a rhino. Uber rhino. Early voting August 5th through 7th. Candidate filing July 21st with no finalized slate of candidates available until shortly before the election. Runoff, if no majority, will be August 25th. Respect to Graham for raising his sister. Yes, definitely. Yes, absolutely not on Trey Gowdy. Evening all. What did I miss? Jim telling us. Well, none of your business. I'm just talking about stuff. Iran right now is in news. I'm ignorant regarding the strait. Isn't this a good thing for the U.S.? Well, it's not a good thing for it to be shut. I mean, if we have to protect it to keep it open, to intercept Iran trying to strike ships, we have to be compensated for that. I mean, that's why wouldn't we have to be? Why? What about Trump's upcoming Thursday night speech about the 2020 election? Well, I heard that it's going to be about the Georgia election in 2020, specifically the Senate race. He's going to supposedly, I don't know if this is true, it's just stuff that I'm reading, claims he's going to make the claim that both of those senators were unlawfully appointed, did not legitimately win. That's the claim he's going to make. I don't know if he's got facts to support it or not. I'm waiting to see. I mean, I don't think they were, but I don't have any proof. That's just a gut feeling. Yeah, to be honest, I think Gowdy would be just as bad, if not worse, than Graham. Yeah. You're watching your resident woodpecker. That's awesome. Oh my God, Trey is the best. He wouldn't do that again, though, I don't think. Think so? Okay. That's speculation, right? Yeah. Total speculation. Iran's getting decimated daily. CENTCOM dropped the footage earlier today of a one-man drones attacking Iran. Oh, we saw this. Cheating should be auto lose. Yeah, it should be.
But we don't want to talk about that. But
okay.
We certainly are watching. Yep. I know a lot about that subject. I know a lot, but I don't think it's appropriate to talk about it right now. But we will be hitting them, like as an example, we're going to hit them very hard tonight. And we're going to hit them hard tomorrow. And there's not a damn thing they can do about it. They have nothing. They have nothing going other than they have big mouths. But we don't want to talk about that.
but
Okay.
we certainly are watching. Yep, I know
All
a
right.
lot about that subject. I know a lot, but I don't think it's appropriate to talk about it right
All right.
now. But we will
Yeah.
be hitting them like as an example. We're going to hit them very hard tonight, and we're going to hit them hard tomorrow. And there's not a damn thing they can do about it. They have nothing. They have nothing going other than they have big mouths.
Yeah, they're big mouths. They just got big mouths, the Iranians. Well, Hugh Hewitt, it's on. He was talking to Hugh Hewitt, but Hugh Hewitt didn't get to really say anything. So Mismo says, you don't like Trey Gowdy. What? Trey Gowdy, in my opinion, I'm gonna tell you, when I thought Trey Gowdy for the longest time that he was awesome in the House, but then he never did anything. And when it came time, he just quit and didn't, he just talked a good game, but never really didn't, never held anybody responsible for anything. That's all. I don't know. Trump calls for a convention during a midterm. Wonder who Republicans could need to nominate in a midterm. The game is afoot. You think so? Lol, they're putting dudes on their drones. Weak. Is this Hugh? Yeah, Hugh. Kind of makes him not a drone. So if the USA asks for money, the UN goes nuts, but Iran asks for money, crickets. Yeah, it's weird, right? Isn't that strange? It's very weird. Career politicians are by and large corrupt, self-serving pimps wishing to be monarchs. I generally agree with that. Did you know that Lindsey Graham was one of the least rich Congress people? He was in Congress and in the Senate, and he's basically had a total net worth of just over $1 million after 30 years in Congress and the Senate. That kind of, to me, says he wasn't doing what everyone else is doing. So I don't know. Does that make him stupid? I don't know. That's what I was wondering. Why do these Republicans have to wait in the wings? I don't know. I just couldn't tell on my phone who the other guy was. Yeah, that's Hugh Hewitt. Yeah. Not Haley, not Mace. Yeah, not none of them. Yeah. Fireworks incoming. Yeah. Totally normal retirement. I have that much after 30 years. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what we call peace who went down to Florida, then reassessed and came back? Halfbacks. Y'all come. Well, I appreciate it. It's just the hurricanes. All I don't want to deal with the hurricanes anymore. It's too much. South Carolina lieutenant governor might be okay. Not sure who that is. Trey Gowdy was like Paul Ryan. Both of them have very good questionings and hearings, but some with some righteous indignation, and then would turn around and let people off the hook by doing nothing of substance. Meet the American Corsairs. Unnamed drone boat rescues chopper. Yeah, oh yeah. Saw this. These drones, they went and got the chopper pilots. Central Command announces third consecutive nights of attacks. Uniparty peeps. Yeah. South Carolina is not all coastal, Pam. Everett. Okay. Well, I was talking about me in Florida. I'm where I'm at. I don't, that's why I was thinking about going to Greenville. So I don't have to worry about hurricanes per se. I mean, you still might get a little bit of it, but you're not going to get flooded from a hurricane. It's okay to like Trey. It is. It's okay to like Trey Gowdy. It is. Ainsley from Fox and Friends. Well, I mean, she's very pretty. I like him, but the only thing he ultimately did was a great speech during Obama's turn and good research into the fake Russia collusion hoax. Yeah. Yeah. And Jim Jordan, lots of strongly worded letters, little else. You're a Florida native, 65 years, and never had any hurricane damage. Well, I've been here since 2014, and I've had damage 3 times from 3 different hurricanes. So you are welcome here. Well, thank you. I've been here since 2014. So Lindsey Graham may have been an honest man with a good heart, but he had terrible judgment, and you couldn't trust him to follow MAGA Republicans. Here's the thing. I think he had his own things that he was into, but it's really seemed like when the rubber met the road, he had Trump's back when it came to what Trump wanted to do. Still no hurricanes or tropical storms this year. Yeah, last year there was none that hit U.S. mainland at all. Depends on where you live. I'm on the West Coast, Central Florida, pretty safe here. I'm in the Naples area. I'm there from almost 29 when moved, went through one hurricane, if that, Alina. He was into men. Well, I don't know what he was into. It may be stupid hot during the summer in the desert Southwest, but we have some of the most boring weather in the country. Best to not live in a flood evacuation zone. Lived in Florida since 2024. Survived 3 so far, 1 up north, and Milton direct hit. You're in her neighborhood. You're in Mrs. neighborhood, Mrs. T. Rush's neighborhood. Yeah. You have State Farm on your house, pretty decent price. I have Frontline. So this is the 5th round of strikes since Tuesday. President Trump previously declared the ceasefire is over following U.S. strikes on Iran in response to them targeting ships in the Strait. No, the best Hurricanes is the Carolina Hurricanes. They just won the Stanley. They did win the Stanley Cup. Yeah. You haven't seen any evidence that Lindsey was gay. I don't know. I mean, he did. There was a video of him at like Disney World with one of them bubble wands walking around by himself. It was very like, okay. I think the Congress like each other and tried to get them to agree on stuff, and sometimes he agreed with Dems, and I don't care what he did in bed as long as I don't have to watch. Yeah, there you go. He took his family there? Oh, okay. All right. I didn't see anybody but him. But you know what? Maybe that was a good thing. He probably didn't have his family in there. So on Saturday, the U.S. resumed strikes. Now Trump's ordered another round of strikes today. We're taking over the Strait. They have nothing. They've got nothing. They're professional negotiators. That's all they are. And they're not even good at it. They haven't gotten anything, and they got nothing from me. Yeah, Andrew really screwed up the state with homeowners insurance. There is no evidence, just rumors and innuendo of him being gay. Lindsay with an E is very masculine. No photos. Yeah. Lindsay usually fell on the right side of the fence. War was okay with him, but wanted freedom for nations. Yeah. If you look at 47 years, they've been tapping people along. Every president got tapped along. They didn't do anything, and they became more and more powerful.
I recently stopped being a huge dumbass at the shooting range.
Oh, good for you.
What's my secret?
3 habits that may cause memory loss.
How many years have I wasted fixing the wrong reasons?
Walk away from key commitments with the United States as President Trump imposes a U.S. blockade on Iranian ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Listen here.
We're taking over the Strait. They have nothing. They've got nothing. They're professional negotiators. That's all they are. I don't even call them good at it. They haven't gotten anything. They got nothing from me. But if you look for 47 years, they've been tapping people along, presidents. Every president got tapped along, didn't do anything, and they became more and more powerful.
Correspondent Lucas Tomlinson is live. He's in Tel Aviv with the latest for us. Hi, Lucas.
Good afternoon, Sean. And the U.S. military has just announced that blockade will now go into effect beginning at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Recall last week when the Trump administration revoked Iran's license to sell oil, many were wondering how would that be enforced? There's only one way, and that's with a return of the naval blockade. And that's what President Trump has ordered today, in addition to the 4 nights of airstrikes over the past week, hitting those targets as Iranian forces continue to attack ships in the Strait of Hormuz. The Iranian government says the Strait of Hormuz remains closed and it remains in control of the critical waterway.
We will not hesitate to defend ourselves. Any area or part of the country that is used to launch attacks against the Islamic Republic of Iran will naturally be subject to defensive measures.
As part of last night's strikes, the U.S. Navy unleashing a new gadget, a sea drone, John. A similar model rescued those Apache pilots last month. This one armed with high explosives, similar to what we've seen Ukraine unleash on Russian forces in the Black Sea. This video of the operation provided by the U.S. Military Central Command shows the sea drones hitting Bandar Abbas, home to Iran's largest naval base. Last night, jets from the USS George H.W. Bush struck targets on Iran's coastline. Another carrier on station, USS Abraham Lincoln, has now been at sea for more than 200 days without a port call. Let that sink in. Destroyers and the strike groups also launching Tomahawk cruise missiles with a max range of 1,000 miles. There have been...
I'll address this. Kevin says, I'm confused. I thought we won this months ago. Well, Iran hasn't had enough yet, I guess. Class A has 2 words that'll fix Iran: mushroom, cloud. New toys, woohoo! Rest in peace, Sam Neill. Yeah, I was so sad to hear about Sam Neill's passing. He was such a good actor. He really was, and really, he was one guy who kept his mouth shut. He didn't weigh in like the rest of the jerks. You really didn't realize how close he was to President Trump. Makes me sad. Yeah, Trump seemed like he was really upset by Lindsey Graham. Like he really, you escaped St. Pete, way too gay. Honestly, I go to the Keys frequently, and it's pretty gay in the Keys, but it's fine. They don't, it's not crazy. It's respectful mostly, except for there's a couple areas you want to stay away from where they have some what would we call them, cabarets or something where the people are outside trying to get people to come inside. That's a little but you just got to avoid those areas. You're confused. You thought the Lincoln was sunk months ago. Yes. We aren't tired of winning yet. No, we're not. I think because of Lindsey, Trump will bomb the hell out of them. Yeah. Good job market in Largo, though. Yeah, there's good job markets everywhere. Your brother's in Largo? St. Pete went to shit. Yeah. Largo and Clearwater are decent. Yeah. What about, someone was telling, what's the other one called? Inglewood? Someone was telling me Inglewood's nice, but I don't know. And all those signs about kill Trump probably pisses them off. Probably. Yeah, they don't push it on you. They want to be left alone. Yeah. That's the way I look at it. The pork calls are in the bunks. Am I right, Jim? Not funny. I bet they buy Jim drinks. Well, that's Rehoboth Beach. Okay. I just don't want to be near any of it. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Don't tell anybody about our secret cool places. All right, never mind. You're a Largonian. Oh, awesome. They're going to invade from New Jersey. We need Bella. Come on, slackers. Well, we'll see.
4 nights of strikes like this over the past week. President Trump calls it retribution for continued Iranian attacks on commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. And shipping has been down in recent days through that critical waterway, John. Iran retaliated with attacks on Jordan, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Oman, and the UAE over the weekend. In addition to bringing back the blockade, President Trump has also announced he's going to charge a toll of his own, 20% on our cargo moving through the Strait of Hormuz because of the effort of the U.S. military. John?
And to show just how powerless.
Wow, just how powerless. We did have a $5 donation on Cash App. Thank you so much. Let me pull this up. I don't know. I don't know how to say this from somebody. Deb. Well, thank you, Deb. As it says from Georgia. Greetings from Georgia. Well, thank you. What made you decide to become a creator? Well, thank you for the 5. Let me do this first. It's the 5, so that means we're now 84 away from a first hour and 34 away from Bellavision. What made me decide to be a creator? Well, I started out doing producer work for some people. I don't want to mention names. I'm not going to name drop anybody for some channels. And then a couple people had me come on as a guest on some channels many years ago. I was a regular guest on some on Compound Media. I would call in and say stuff, and like not a guest, but call in and talk and stuff. And I liked it, and we'd back and forth and stuff. And then I don't know. People said you should do it, and I don't know. And I just decided just screw it and did it, and that's it. I don't know. It seems like fun. Hey, B Hops was gifted a membership from Gigi's mom. Thank you. Thank you so much. That means now we're 79 away from a first additional hour and 29 away from Bellavision. Thank you so much. Well, thank you. What part of Florida is the correct answer? Correct question for him. The correct question is tavern style or deep dish or old style versus Stroh's. Maybe Malort. Well, tavern style and old style. I love old style in the summertime. Ain't nothing better. On a hot summer day, an old style. Oof. My granddad was a Stroh's man, though. Or a PBR, Pabst. All loud roommates should be castrated. Oh, that's kind of severe. Cocoa Plum is a nice area if you want to be left alone. Yeah. Thank you so much. So Trump further suggested that America will charge a 20% toll. So they announced speech to the nation on Thursday evening as the Iran war intensifies and the U.S. Navy blockade resumes. We're taking over the strait. So there's all that business. And so what do we think about this? Deep dish or Little Italy style? I like tavern style, which is a thin crust. Like it's not new, it's thinner. Like it's like I call it like a cracker crust. If you've ever, I don't know, if you've ever been in Chicago, Nick and Nick's, Baracos, like that. I also like the regular, like thin crust, like hand tossed, like Palermo's, Salerno's, Giordano's. I don't like the deep dish. Folded, yeah. Folded, hand tossed, yeah. There's a Giordano's in Orlando or somewhere around there. Giordano's is a good Chicago style. Yeah, Giordano's, I don't like the deep dish. Giordano's deep dish is okay too, but the regular pizza with the nice crust, it's just like the crust is about this thick, and sweet sauce. I like it. Good sausage. You love thin crust. Yeah, I make my own thin crust at home. Very good. Very good. Domino's is deep dish. Well, Domino's is kind of deep dish, but not really like a deep dish, like a Chicago deep dish. The crust is like this thick, it's like in a pan, like a pie. And it's basically, they put the sauce on top. It's got cheese and then the ingredients and then the sauce is on the top, the Chicago deep dish. It's more like a casserole, really. Indiana has square pizza. Well, like, what is that? Well, so does Detroit also has square pizza. Detroit has like a deep dish square pizza where like they put it in a pan and it's like really thick. It's supposed to be really good. So we're still at war with Iran. Yeah, Chicago deep dish is a pie. Yeah, it's in a pie pan. So we're still at war with Iran. Looks like we're going to take over the strait. And I personally think they should not take their boot off the neck until they cry uncle. You can't, you have to wait until they give up. They surrender. They have to surrender. Pizza should be round, not square. Isn't Sicilian pizza square? Isn't Sicilian pizza square? And then agree, no retreat. Detroit pizza is retarded. Used to work at a place that made it with sourdough. It was all dough, no blood and guts. Oh, God. Hey, Wild Arms 420. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Sicilian style was square. There used to be a place called Corleone's in Chicago that made Sicilian style pizza that was square, and it was pretty good. No offense, but blood and guts don't sound like good toppings. Well, let me tell you, if you're ever in the Chicagoland area, all right, there's a place called Peppo's, Peppos sandwich shop. Everything is all fresh, homemade stuff. And they have what's called guts that they put on the sandwich. And it's basically like a homemade tomato relish with onions and pickles and everything that they put on the sub sandwich. It's a very famous place. Like people, movie stars went there and stuff. They got pictures on the wall and stuff like that. But it's really, really good sandwiches called Peppo's. It used to be on like 111th in Ridgeland or Roberts Road. And I think now it's on like 103rd and Roberts Road. It's not really in Chicago. It's outside of Chicago, but it's really good. Really, really good. If you want, in a grandma style rectangle pan, not thick, not cracker thin, or air pockets. Yes. Yeah, that's a pizza you can't refuse. That's right. Well, that's like school pizza. School lunch pizzas that we used to get in school were like a big pan. You were being sarcastic. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, well, no, I was just saying like guts on the, like that's what they call it. They call it in this place. They're like, do you want guts on it? And I was like, well, at first it sounds weird, but that's really good. Not a quiche. Okay. Bomb them until the people rise up and get rid of the IRGC. That's not a bad idea. And speaking of uprising, I don't know if you guys heard, but earlier today, there's an uprising in Maine because some illegal alien decided to try to run over ICE agents again. Like it's this thing going on all over the place where they just keep trying to run over ICE agents and getting shot. School pizza was like freaking plywood, soggy plywood. Well, I don't know. Honestly, the pizza at Chicago Public Schools, CPS, Chicago Public Schools lunch pizza was pretty good. Honestly. Oh, I got that, Jim. Just explaining and trying to be funny with the topics. I understand. No problem. Finished the nukes in Iran. No panicking on the gas prices. There you go. Ours was good. Yeah, ours was good. I love the square school pizza, Friday pizza day. Yeah, it was like they would make those lunch ladies. It was all homemade at the time. They would make the dough fresh and do everything with the cheese and the sausage and stuff. And maybe it was because it was Chicago and you could get good sausage in Chicago. I don't know. But anyway. So right now, anti-ICE protesters storm Susan Collins' office in Maine after ICE-involved shooting in Bidford. It doesn't matter how much information is given about ICE shootings. They will just go ape crazy.
Now, anti-ICE protests outside the office of Senator Susan Collins after a deadly shooting in Maine involving an ICE agent. This is Bedford, where the shooting happened about 25 minutes south of Portland. Our correspondent Alexis McAdams is reporting live here in New York City. She's got the latest details on what is happening there. Alexis?
Hey, Sandra. So as you can see here on your screen, this is a live look at what's going on in Maine. We know federal agents are trying to piece together everything that happened as witnesses tell local media that ICE agents surrounded a car and repeatedly ordered the driver to get out. Then seconds later, we're told they heard gunshots, and it was also captured on surveillance video. Listen to this. Blocked off in Biddeford, Maine, if we want to pull that video up, after the ICE-involved shooting earlier this morning. We are told that the FBI and Maine State Police are working the case right now, and the feds have not yet said who was killed.
Now, anti-ICE protests.
All right, well, that's it. That's what happened when you make it 5 hours before you bake it, lol, but the fake cheese blend was the worst of it. That in our schools, everything was all real, whole milk mozzarella, and everything was fresh made. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe different schools were different, maybe later. I mean, I went to school in the 80s, so, I remember having potato turbate in school. I don't even know what that is. That sounds gross. Potato turds. Ugh. Is that like tater tots, but they're turds? Ugh. We had a whole show a few weeks ago talking about pizza. Yes, if it's football off season, can get boring. Well, the dipshit continues. These dipshits continue. FAFO, yes. Back to the news. Whatever we do, we better be precise. We are low on boom noisemakers. No, well, Joe, I think we have plenty that can go in the buffs. We just need to let the buffs fly. We have tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of dumb bombs. Just let them go. Let them go. Ice, baby. Why aren't these people working? I bet these people are, who knows? Yeah, who knows? Cat's like, it wasn't me. Yeah, poor kitty. Yeah. Are we surveilling the car or the cat? Maybe. So lesbian heroin addict whores that are broke cause they got replaced by AI on OnlyFans. That's the coast of Maine. If you've never been there, oh my God. No, the cat's on the table. The cat's on the table in the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. Yeah, I know it's not the table, it's the cradle, but I changed the words and then, yeah. And now it's fentanyl. Saves the money on deporting them. Exactly. Your mom was a lunch lady. Awesome. Deportation by Glock. Yes. Yes. They deported him at 1,300 feet per second. Mashed potatoes with hamburger meat. Oh, well, that's almost like isn't that like a shepherd's pie? Baked. Maine is really expensive. If I go on welfare, can I be an activist with a sign 40 hours a week too? Maybe. Cat. Shot sound on video. You can't see a damn thing. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. Nasty. Sounds like someone told the cooks about shepherd's pie without describing it properly. Yeah. Dumb boom booms kill the innocent. If they fly low enough, they get the, I don't know. Looks like the people are protesting over something we don't know about yet. Do we know who got shot yet? An illegal alien who tried to run over the cops. Right here, I have a witness statement. This guy who witnessed it. Okay. ICE shot and killed a man who tried to run them down in his vehicle. One of these people going to top trying to kill federal agents. So we'll watch this first. Yeah. Go figure. ABC News is reporting that ICE opened fire at him as he ran away in their direction in his car. It was literally cooked ground beef on the bottom with mashed potatoes on top. And now he's dead. That's right. Oh, new video shows agents running alongside the car, not in the danger of being run over. Oh, okay. Well, here's a witness that looks like suspiciously like Ben Shapiro. And the witness says that the driver was told multiple times to stop. He then put the car in drive and drove at the officer. There you have it. Direct eyewitness confirms the suspect weaponized his vehicle.
I would say 7:15. I was driving through the intersection at Hill Street and Pool Street, and as I was approaching, you could see flashing blue lights, and then as I got closer, they were unmarked, so I assumed they were ICE, and then you could see them with their green vests and stuff, and it said police, ICE, and so as I actually was going through the intersection, I heard yelling. So I know I'm supposed to be paying attention, but I heard yelling off to my, so I looked, and I was watching, and the ICE agent was yelling and drew his weapon, and he kept yelling and warning the person driving, which is when the car was put into drive and was trying to hit the ICE officer. And he fired, I would say, probably 4 shots at him. And then by that time, I was also through, the intersection, so I just heard the popping, but I did see him draw his gun at the windshield. And then then the car, you could see the car in the back, like rolling down the street afterwards.
Well, there you go. He drove right at the ICE agents. That's what's going to happen. That's what they call play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's what they call that. Standard payload for a modern B-52H includes 51 individual 500-pound bombs, typically Mark 82s. This loadout, part of the 70,000-pound mixed ordnance package, will also include larger bombs, missiles, and PGM. Well, there you go. That's what we need. We got plenty of those. I think we still got ones from World War II laying around. Veggie shepherd's pie is not a thing. Not from the side like they claimed this morning. Yeah, the bullet holes are right in the windshield, center of the windshield. So they came directly at the guy. Illegals trying to kill Fed agents get shot. What's the problem? I don't have a problem with this at all. At all. Atoll. Pretty clear, yes. ABC wants us to be stupid and play word games. Well, yeah, they want to get the people out. They're all trying to they want another Summer of Love event. They want George Floyd 2.0. They want Jesus Floydina or Funky Cold Medina. Shepherd's pie is stew under mashed potatoes. Not bad if it's done right. Headlines are wild. Yeah. We had mashed potatoes with hamburger gravy over it. Yeah. Spread a tube of sausage at the bottom of the pan. Bullet holes in the windshield. Just put Band-Aids over the holes. There you go. So I don't know. I'll go look at this other video. This person claims this, that look at, they're running along the side of the car. Let's see. This is probably going to be cut short. Let's see. Okay, so Steve, that did not show the guy getting shot and didn't show anything. So I don't understand. Oh, damn it. Instagram died again after 1 hour. Wow. Instagram just hates me. I don't even know. I'm going to just stop streaming to Instagram. They're going to keep ending it after 1 hour. I mean, who can do a stream in 1 hour on Instagram? That is ridiculous. Whatever, Instagram. Jokes. Anyway, wow, we've been going an hour already and we still don't have Bellavision. Wow. Oopsie poopsie. Yeah, suicide by a cop being called murder by idiots that can't stand their slaves being taken away. Thanks for being here, Trinull Galaxy. Heavy redacted FBI records. Okay. Get to that. I'm trying to see if I missed anything. I was looking away. That guy's veggie chesticles. Yeah. I forgot about the dumb bombs. We can do those for weeks. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just, they also it's a lot. The packages, they can do like a lot of stuff too, Joe, now with the, what is it? The not JDAMs or whatever. Is it JDAMs where they can put like a guidance fins package on the dumb bombs now? And it's like just basically bolts on. It's like a bolt on package and it can just follow a laser in or follow in other stuff. Teen murder suspect gets stomped to death. Yeah, I saw that. The video doesn't show anything. No, I think that's after the car was rolling. Maybe. My internet keeps glitching, so I have to go out and come back in. That's Rumble that does that. It does it to me all the time. Lisa says, I'm broke. Sorry. No problem. No problem, guys. For F's sake, they said Renee Good was shot from the side even after the officer's injuries were reported. Yeah. Amen. JDAM is the bolt-on package. Okay. That costs money. To the first hour and Bellavision. Thank you. With that $2, folks, that means we're now 77 away from a first hour and 27 away from Bellavision. Thank you, everybody. It's your internet. Oh, man, that's terrible. Let me see here. A couple of things I missed. Okay. I got those. So, one dead after ICE agents opened fire in self-defense when suspect tries to run them over in Bidford, Maine. Is it Biddeford or Bidford? I don't know. FBI now investigating. A driver in Biddeford or Bidford. I had to reset my VPN endpoint to 10 different countries today to get it to stop making me go to Cloudflare for an hour. Wow. Reset. All right. You meant to send 5? No problem. No problem. One thing about government, we never run out of acronyms. That's right. Never run out of acronyms. A driver in Bidford, Maine reportedly attempted to run over ICE agents during a targeted enforcement operation. Well, we heard a witness testimony. So pronounced Vive. What? B-Day, maybe B-Day is what you're saying. I don't know. According to authorities, the incident occurred at 7:20 a.m. in Biddeford, or I don't know, Biddeford. I don't know. Brave ICE heroes were conducting a targeted operation. It's pronounced VV. Biveford? Bivford? Like a V, Bivford? Okay. Faced with an imminent threat to their lives, an agent was forced to draw their weapon and fire in clear self-defense. Footage circulated online shows agents running alongside the car. Okay, this is the video we saw. New shooting running alongside the car. We saw that one already. I don't get it. Me neither. So here's a video taken immediate aftermath. I think no, I don't. Maybe we didn't see this one. Oh, I think we did see this one, maybe. Wow, interesting. The Mark 82 with JDAM is a GBU 62 JDAM ER or GBU 75 JDAM LR. Just wait till you learn all the TLAs that RTW thanks to engineering. Then you get emails that are just TLAs. Some podunk town with tenements from 1820 up there somewhere. Wow. No ambulance. No ambulance. So, Maine Democrat House State Speaker released a statement saying, fellow Bivford residents, this morning a shooting occurred. A person was killed. ICE is involved. State police and public safety are now on the scene to gather details. Would expect FBI to investigate also. Well, your state police have no authority. Hey, Gundam, great to see you. What's this say? A foolproof way to not get shot by police is not try to run them over with your car. So easy a caveman cannot do it. That's right. Jerry Sanders says, ran alongside the car until they got in front of the car and were able to claim self-defense and kill another human. Bang, bang. Well, thank you for the 5. I don't know. I mean, we did hear a witness that said the guy put it in drive and drove at him. I don't know if when they were running around the car, if that was after the shooting or well before the shooting. Thank you for your support, but I don't know about when that video was. If that video was before the shooting, it kind of seems like the guy was going around in circles or something. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying, there was a witness. We played the witness earlier that said that he saw it happen. He was in the intersection and they were telling him to stop, and that the guy put it in drive and drove straight at the officer. I don't know. So I don't know. Is the guy lying, the witness? Maybe. Inland Maine is based. Okay. But thank you for your support. And with that 5, that means we are now just 72 away from adding a first additional hour and 22 away from Bellavision. Oh, here's a local news report. Let's see what it says.
You're watching Channel 8. Maine's total coverage starts with breaking news.
Thank you, Jerry.
We are interrupting your programming again live now at 9:40 to bring you the latest on the incident happening in Biddeford right now.
Biddeford.
A portion of Biddeford at the intersection of Pool Street and Hill Street right now closed. There is a significant police presence there. Officials reporting online this is an ICE-involved fatal shooting happening right now in Biddeford. Again, a large section closed off at this time. We're hearing reports from Ryan Facto, representative from Biddeford and Speaker of the House, where we're getting this information that ICE is involved. He said this morning a shooting occurred in Biddeford. A person was killed. ICE was involved. State police and the Department of Public Safety are on scene. The FBI will investigate. Those are the details that he has at this time, and he will provide further updates as soon as he gets them. You see a portion of that statement right there. We've also seen on Facebook Troy Jackson, Senate hopeful and former gubernatorial candidate, saying that he's been alerted.
That would help. A whole video start to finish would really help. These guys might have body cams, maybe, hopefully. Like I would want them all, honestly, to all have body cams. You know, and I'll tell you, you know me. I will be the first one to say if the cop shot him and he shouldn't have shot him. Oh, a rant. Thank you. Let's see. Here's $1 towards my 5. Here's 2. Okay, here we go. So we got 3, 2, and 1. So there's 2 and then 1. Thank you. Thank you. So that 3 is going to go towards this. So that means we're now 69, dude, away from adding first additional hour, and 19 away from Bellavision. Thank you. Thank you so much. One or more illegals were involved. Illegal for sure. I think so. Joe says, happy to be back in Florida for the Bella Fun. Hi, all. Well, thank you. With that, too, that means, folks, we are now just 67 away from adding a first additional hour and 17 away from Bellavision. Hey, Neat Scholar, great to see you. Thanks for being here. I honestly don't care anymore. They had the opportunity to leave on their own. If ICE said they tried to run them over, I believe that. Well, normally I would say I believe them too, but I shouldn't say but there was that one guy who they claimed that the people attacked him with a shovel, and it turned out that wasn't what happened. And even ICE, after they, the government, after they investigated, basically let Minnesota charge them with assault for shooting through a door or something. I don't know. It's like, because they made it up to cover their ass, which if they do that, they should be punished. I don't want any crooked cops anywhere to do anything. Because if they're crooked and they'll lie and do stuff like that, they'll do it to you or me or someone else. We got to get rid of, we need only cops that'll tell the truth and not pull shit. Do people realize that there's more death from ICE interactions during Obama than Trump? Was there? I mean, I would just say we're probably seeing more stuff like they're saying, oh, there's the increase in the amount of people who died in ICE detention from sickness or illness or other stuff that's gone up. Well, that's because there's more people in custody. The more people you have in custody, the more people could die, have a chance of dying from something. Like, it's just, something like that.
To a fatal ICE shooting in Biddeford this morning. His heart is with Biddeford and with all Mainers involved. Again, the intersection of Poole and Hill Street has a significant police presence right now. We have seen the FBI on scene. State police are there. Biddeford police are assisting, and we do have crews live on the scene today as well. We're going to go out now to Jamie Agelet, who was one of the first people to arrive on the scene today. And Jamie, I know you've been talking to people in the area who heard shots. Tell us a little bit about what you're seeing and hearing.
Yeah, Jess, we are on Hill Street now. This road behind me is Bacon Street, and that's what police are blocking off now, not letting cars through that intersection. Poole Street, where that shooting happened, is just one block up. They're turning people away, and we've been asking a lot of questions this morning, wanting to know exactly what happened, how we ended up with a fatality here in Biddeford. And the people who live here are asking a lot of questions too. What we're seeing is a lot of cars slowly going by, trying to look and see what they can. Many people walking right up to the street corner, trying to get a better look and talking to the officers here, asking what happened. Several of them driving by, shouting at the officer here, wanting to know more and getting frustrated about this situation. One neighbor I talked to said she was woken up by the scene around 8 o'clock this morning.
I just heard really loud bangs, and I kind of looked out the window, and here we go with tons of cops. It was really loud.
There's no word yet on when this intersection will reopen, but it is still closed. Again, this is Hill Street. Bacon Street runs perpendicular there behind me. Poole Street, just one block up. We have more crews here on scene in Biddeford, and we will continue to update you throughout the morning. For now, live in Biddeford, I'm Jamie Agelet, Maine's Total Coverage.
Jamie, thank you so much for that report, and that is right. We do have more crews on scene. Our Terry Stackhouse is also there. He has a different vantage point of the scene this morning. Terry, thank you. And I know you can see FBI on the scene. You can see state police. Tell us a little bit more about that police presence and whether you've heard anything from police this morning.
Hey, Jessica, good morning to you. I am here just off of Middle Street along Poole Street, where you can see a large police presence. And looking at the pictures here from our vantage point, a few things that I want to point out to you here. There are two large canopies, one red, one blue. It's unclear at this point what may be underneath those, as well as a large Biddeford police vehicle. And then lower on the ground, if you're able to see it, there are a number of evidence markers that are near these orange cones. And we've seen law enforcement from numerous agencies walking through this area since we've been here in the last 30 minutes or so. There is a very small group of people which is gathered here right by the crime scene tape where I'm standing right now. They're eager to get some answers here, at least to our knowledge where we are on scene at this moment. We haven't received information confirming this incident through any official channels from law enforcement. I spoke very briefly with Biddeford Police Chief Joanne Fisk. She said that this is not the case that they're handling. She said that the FBI and the Attorney General's office would be the parties which any requests for information need to go through. She said that Biddeford Police's involvement here is really just doing traffic control. Where we are right now is where some Biddeford police officers have staged. We're seeing one car here moving so that one of the Biddeford PD vehicles can move from the scene. We've also seen, worth noting here, just a couple of civilian vehicles that have been moved here from the scene. It's unclear if they had any involvement in the incident as it played out. I want to reference here a post coming from State Representative Mark Mallon. He represents this area. He shared that same information, which was shared on the Facebook page, the personal Facebook page of House Speaker Ryan Fecteau. He said that he's working to get information here, but he did caution locals about sharing potentially false information. And the big question here, we've seen elected officials note that ICE was involved here in some capacity, but we don't know how. With any officer involved shooting or any law enforcement involved shooting, of course, there is an investigation to determine the events which surrounded that. We don't have any information about that at this point. We don't know who may have been shot, what happened, the events leading up to that, or who pulled the trigger at that point. It could be a situation where ICE was carrying out operations and perhaps that agency wasn't necessarily the one that pulled the trigger in this instance. On the other hand, it is entirely possible that that is what happened. But I'm looking now just in front of me, a small crowd, maybe half a dozen to a dozen people that are trying to get some clarity and get some answers here. And it's a somber mood. This is something that nobody wants to see in their community. This is a residential area, and neighbors here are coming out. And just looking at the scene here, as we're turning here as well, you can see some law enforcement officers with gloves on, taking photos of the scene, gathering evidence, again, placing those evidence markers down. We're trying to get as close to the scene as we can.
Wow, that's a lot of information they're covering, but I don't know. Smoke break. I got Bellavision on my phone. I pause it so I can listen to the TV. Oh, there you go. There you go. That's a good way to do it. Very smart. It's illegal to build any building over 2 stories because everything is a historical monument that Alexander Hamilton shit in, allegedly. Oh, God. No problem. No problem. We're almost there. Maine can barely afford granite curbs next to their tenements. Yeah. Isn't it the granite state? Is Maine the granite state, or is that some other state over there? Granite state. Is that New Hampshire? What is the granite state? The illegal would have never been shot if they were in their country. That's true. That is true. You forgot to describe the crime scene tape. He did.
Forgive me, I'm going to step outside here again. I'm just going to reference my notes because we do have some information that's coming to us in real time, and we're working to get you the best information that we can about this apparent deadly shooting, which involved ICE. This also coming from Joanne Fisk with Biddeford PD. We spoke for really just a matter of seconds as she was leaving the scene when she told me that Biddeford PD is really just handling traffic control in this area. But she said that there is a staging area over at the St. James School for media. It is possible that there will be a news conference of some sort later today, or information may be provided to members of the press at that area. We haven't had.
Hey, KPT, I'm so glad you're here tonight. I want to apologize to you personally if you were at all offended by any comments made about IQs last night. That was no one should be insulting anybody. I thought you understood it was a joke. If you didn't understand it was a joke, I apologize for the person who made that comment in the chat. They shouldn't have made that comment to you. You have a very high IQ because you're here every night. Thank you. Seabrook? I mean, to learn a lesson, ICE will shoot you if you don't comply. It's not like the first time. They just keep on. Yeah. Live free or die. And that is New Hampshire, right? Live free or die, right? Or Rhode Island. New Hampshire.
The opportunity to head over to the school yet to get some information, and that's because this area is so active with law enforcement. I'm just shifting where I'm positioned so that I can try to give you a better picture here from just my vantage point about what's going on. I'm seeing 2 officers that are closest to me, just to the left of a Biddeford police vehicle, seeing some civilian vehicles that are parked close to those evidence markers, and then just in front of that large Biddeford PD van, more law enforcement just in front of those 2 canopies. So as we're working the scene here throughout the day, we're going to try to talk to some residents who have gathered here and see if they may have heard those gunshots earlier this morning. Of course, there is so much being shared on social media right now. Residents are looking for answers. Others are looking to share their perspective. But we're going to be very careful in verifying all the information that we can and the accounts of what happened here so that we can bring you the best information possible here on Maine's Total Coverage. Jessica?
All right, Terry, thank you so much for that view from the scene in Biddeford, a very active scene right now. If you are in the area, be sure to avoid Pool Street and Hill Street, the intersection there. A large area.
Maine is a blue state, sort of. It is. It's like one of them states. It's mostly bluish. You know, it's the Northeast. You know, it is what it is.
Closed off. Biddeford police, though, redirecting traffic. This is a very busy intersection as well. Pool Street, one of the major veins, especially in the summertime, to head toward Biddeford Pool. As Terry said, this is also a heavily residential area as well. That intersection leads down to the bridge to get into Saco, too. So a very busy area that police are asking that you avoid right now, and they are redirecting traffic. Again, we're going to give you a live look from Jamie Ajoulay, who is on the other side of the scene right now. You can see there, police redirecting the road closed signs. We are working to get more information here.
Police are redirecting the road closed signs. How are they redirecting the road closed sign? What does that mean? They're telling the road closed signs to go somewhere else? What? Thank you, Liza Sintic. Liza Sintic. Thank you for being here. Thank you. New Hampshire only seems a little conservative compared to its neighbors. Well, I thought, isn't New Hampshire the one where they're like called libertarian? Like they claim they have the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire, and they're gonna turn it all like libertarian. They voted for Kamala, but have Republican government. It's crazy. It is. She paid for her looks, not her brain. Oof.
On this breaking news, again, officials saying online that this is an ICE-involved shooting. We do not yet have details on a victim, but we are continuing to press police. The FBI involved in this investigation as well, too. Please stay with us on air and online today as we continue to follow this story. We will have breaking updates on WMTW.com as well as in our app. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
All right. And so it says here, Greg McNeely, thanks for being here. TRA gangsters, which I believe is Tren de Aragua, who were a part of the prostitution ring in Portland, were shot when they attempted to flee ICE, and our chief of police actually teared up for the criminals. Oh, yeah, they tear up. They love the criminals. They love the criminals. Portland is a cesspool. First rule of broadcasting, no dead air. Just keep talking. Talking to me? No, we shouldn't wait for the facts. The facts are they are doing things illegally. Protests are already gathering in Biddeford despite the lack of details. Yeah. Oh, look. It's one of them OnlyFans models that is being getting taken out of work by the AI.
Good morning. I'm John. I'm with the Maine Wire.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. So what do you got going on here?
This is for ICE to get out of our fucking city. They just shot and killed another innocent person for no reason, other than they're not white.
Did you have that sign already made up? Or?
Yes, I did. I went to No Kings 3, baby.
All right, so I'm a member of the media, and I don't have any of the details. What details do you have?
Only based on what I've seen, and just I woke up this morning.
Okay.
And
I woke up this morning, and I was still an idiot, and so I decided that I know the facts before the facts come to me.
Went on Facebook.
I went on Facebook. Oh.
ICE is in Biddeford. Somebody's been shot. I Googled where it was. It was right up my street.
Okay.
I came out, saw that it was all blocked off, saw people congregating, went home, got my sign, walked around my neighborhood, I alerted my neighbors. ICE is in the area. They just shot and killed another person.
Are you aware that there is something planned for 12 o'clock at the park?
Yes, I am.
Will you be there?
I will be there.
Just it might be a controversial question, but I think it's a fair one.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we wait for the facts?
At this point, what ICE is doing is un-American.
Oh.
They are going around
Un-American,
abducting
abducting
people based on their color. They are being told.
Yeah, Greg is right. That's a typical awful, affluent, white, female-ish, urban lunatic liberal. Yes, definitely. What, it was an ICE officer shot? No. The guy tried to run it. Supposedly, there was a witness claiming the guy drove right at the ICE officers. They told him to stop. What if it was an ICE officer shot? Oh, yeah. Then she wouldn't care. She wouldn't care. She looks like a strawberry. Yeah, she's upset. She has all this free time to protest because she used to make $37 a month on OnlyFans showing her starfish. But now AI does all that, and they don't need her anymore. Brilliant mind. My sister lives there, and she says it's fine. Cool. I love people like her. They get to cancel my vote. No. She looks like a strawberry. And there's a famous song from NWA where they talk about Strawberry, the neighborhood hoe. Can we deport her instead? Yes, hooligans. I bet she doesn't know how to vote. Well, who's going to pick the cotton if not for the slaves? That was the Dems in the 1860s, the 1960s, and 2026.
When the documented person tells them that they have the documents, you know what ICE tells them? It doesn't matter. We've been told to pick up everybody and anybody. They have quotas to meet. So no, we shouldn't wait for the facts. The facts are they are doing
none of what she just said is facts at all. They don't have a quota to pick up people. They don't just pick up everybody. They have a list of people they're looking for. And if they come across somebody else that's also illegal, they pick them up too. Yes, that's what they are. Crackhead prostitutes, strawberries. Okay, that's what I thought. She is such a liar. Yeah, an ignorant liar. Yeah.
They are doing things based on race. They are not doing things based on the law and what should be happening in our country.
I understand you're upset.
Yes.
But where are you getting the information that ICE has quotas?
From the news.
Okay.
I am very involved in the news. I know
I'm very involved in the news.
Happening right now. I know how unhealthy our administration is. Right now, we have a pedophile running our country, and we are acting like it's normal and it's okay for men to rape and abuse women and children and get away with it. Is that okay?
I hope he asked her if she voted for Graham Plattner in the primary. Oh, I hope he asked her about Graham Plattner after that comment. Yes. Yes. Oh my God. White liberal women is the answer to what caused the demise of America. Yes. The idiocy is strong in this one. Yes. Maine Wire was live streaming the protest and their guy was hit by a skateboard, but the video is gone. Yeah, they probably took it down. They don't want to make him look so bad, you know. I wouldn't mind a 10K a day queue. Okay. So she is racist. She is so racist. Everything must be racist. No, everything must be more racist to justify her racism. Yes. Deportation quotas. Oh, you wouldn't mind if it was a 10,000 a day quota? Me neither. Reddit star. Yep.
Is that American? Is that the American dream?
But that's a different story. That's a different story
It
about
goes with ICE.
Okay, so
because ICE is funded by him and Stephen
by the
Miller,
him
who's a white supremacist. We have a white supremacy White House at this moment in time. White supremacy.
Yes. It's the White House because it's white supremacy. Holy crap. These people are so dumb.
Is overtaking our country in the White House, trying to normalize making race a big thing again. ICE is doing all they can do in their power to make that normal. Let's go and abduct these people based on their skin tone. Let's beat them. Have you seen what they do to people? They break their windows.
I'm trying to stay
break their windows.
On today's incident.
On today's incident.
Today's incident. So
no, I think
we don't have a lot of facts yet, but you're
based on what the family has said, they would like time. So
Well,
with
that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, shouldn't we just kind of like pump the brakes until we get a little bit more information? Or
no, I think we need to make it known.
Okay.
I think it's important to make it known that ICE
Make
has
it known
shot and
that
killed
we
another person.
to make it known that we don't care about the facts. We just gonna do everything. Wait, when did I get a membership? I'm not sure. Yes, Biden was too. Yeah, Biden was the pedophile. Biden was the one showering with his daughter. She wrote it in her diary, remember? And then they arrested people for getting the diary? Huh. The media always finds the dumbest people on the street to interview. Well, it's pretty easy when they're carrying those signs. That's like a sign that says, I'm a dummy. Oh, geez, they're going to vote her into Congress with AOC. Probably. Yeah, when you weren't looking, they got you. Guys, please donate or Jim will keep showing that idiot. Yes, I think I'll play it on repeat if I don't get any money. Another Monday and so much breaking news. What's up, Sylvie? So great to have you here. Thank you. IQ test for voter registration. It's not the worst. I mean, honestly, why couldn't there be like a test just basically name the 3 branches of government? How does a bill become law? Civics facts. If you don't know civics facts, you can't vote. I'd be perfectly fine with that. Just like the way hippies dressed. Yeah. Okay, this is almost over.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Hiding it.
Nice to meet you. Thank
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So, in Maine, where members of the town are rallying after speakers of the state house said ICE was involved in the shooting, 2 candidates for Dem Senate are set to speak. Oh, of course they will. Look at them. Yes. Wait, that was her. That was her. Look, that was her. That's her with the bullhorn. So she's leading it. This ignorant twat who knows no facts and doesn't care is the one leading the protest. What do you know? By God, Jim, how is our Congress supposed to function without without the all-knowing, all-seeing elderly politicians? Yeah, I think the Congress can put, if Congress wants, they can put age limits, or we would have to get if Congress could put age limits on their own thing, basically, I think maybe you would need a constitutional amendment. Maybe. I don't know. You can't save her. Didn't a witness say the illegal was driving towards ICE while fleeing? Like Joe says, I prefer my truth over facts. Yeah, we played it. The sign should read, I'm with stupid, with the arrow pointing straight down. They all old except her and white, just like every other one. Yeah. It's ridiculous, right? Like, look at. Yeah. That reporter really screwed up the opportunity to ask about political flattening. A person was murdered. Wow. A person was murdered. This is the second ICE shooting in less than a week. Just 2 days ago, an illegal alien from Mexico rammed an ICE vehicle, ignored commands, and tried to run over an agent before being shot in self-defense. So this is a developing story. Same thing here coming from CBS. Another shooting. ICE agent shoots and kills man who was ordered to leave the U.S. So he was ordered to leave the U.S. So this guy had an order and didn't leave. So Angus King said it's the second time in a week that ICE officers have used deadly force. King was briefed on a shooting by Homeland Security. The senator said during a news conference before catching a flight to Washington, he said that the C-SPAN had been given an order to leave the U.S. And was the target of an arrest warrant. He was in a vehicle, pulled out in a vehicle, and weaponized the vehicle. He was shot by an ICE agent. What I said to the secretary was, we want a full, transparent investigation. State Attorney General's office is also investigating. So immigrant rights groups IDs the man. The Immigrant Right Coalition said the man who was shot is a 26-year-old Colombian man who was authorized to work in the U.S. and been issued a Social Security number. So how could it be authorized to work in the U.S. if he was ordered to leave? How was he issued a Social Security number? What is going on? Lesson for all illegal aliens: do not flee when you get arrested. Yes. This is your future. Yeah. Dementia Joe, not our beloved Joe Logic. Okay. I feel sorry for animals. Yes. No mail-in voting and put voting locations in hard-to-find places. Yes. They just said the person who died was not the intended target. Damn. Did they say that? Well, this is not what this report says. Thank you for the 5. Thank you for the 5. I haven't seen that. This is what's saying it's a 26-year-old man from Colombia who's So a neighbor told reporters a man was married with a young daughter. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Thank you for the 5. That means right now we're 62 away and from an hour and 12 away from Bellavision. So do you have a link to that story? Do you have a link to that story somewhere that says about the guy? You know what I mean? To something. I lost. Sorry, man. Something. I tried to go find something in the chat, and now I lost it. I think you're talking about the Texas case. Oh, the Texas case. Yeah, it wasn't the Texas case. Wasn't the guy they were looking for. This case, I believe they're saying it was the right guy. The Texas case, they were looking for someone else, and that guy, and they just happened to cross that guy. So it didn't say that in this story. So a photo from the Portland Herald shows a car behind a police tape with 4 bullet holes in the windshield on the driver's side. So yeah, the 1, 2, 3, 4. So I mean, that looks like they were in front of it at least. True Social. Okay. That's just a reminder for Thursday. Okay. Thank you. So the Kia sedan with 4 bullet holes is seen at the scene. A Press Herald posted a video. It was reported from the scene. The video, which was recorded from a nearby vehicle, shows a white car slowly driving in a circle near 2 vehicles with flashing lights. 2 people approach the car. One person appears to grab on the driver's door before the video ends. A separate video shows 2 people wearing police. So if they recorded that, where's the other videos? That's what I want to know. Where's the other videos? Do they have the video and they're just Boston News Channel 10? Okay. All right, let me see. I have it pulled up. All right, I have it pulled up. Give me a second. So let me finish this and then I'll get over to it. So a separate video shows 2 people wearing police vests. The question is, what did he do with his vehicle? Were officers threatened? Were the threats rising to a level justified deadly force? That's what the investigation is all about. So that's what the senator says. I see a small white car being corralled by 2 men trying to stop it from losing control around the intersection. All of a sudden, these plainclothes vested men are running around the street, abandoning their cars. I don't know what he did, but he didn't deserve to be executed in the street, said Ackerley. I didn't hear anything until gunshots. Who's Ackerley? Is that the woman with the... isn't that the woman's name? Ackerley? Wasn't that the woman's name who had the bullhorn with the other stuff? So Janet Mills said she was briefed, and I don't know what the situation is. State police are on the scene. So it comes after ICE shot and killed a Mexican man in his work van last week. After he picked up his coworkers for a construction job. So Homeland Security said officers thought one of the men resembled someone they were looking for. So this is the one. This one for sure is the one that wasn't. News says it's Bidford. Yeah. Hey, Roselle, thanks for seeing you. What's up, Nixie Nix? Good to see you too. So Lorenzo had already parked the van. ICE agent reaches in, fires a shot in front of his face, strikes Lorenzo on the side. Officers weren't wearing body cams. All right. That one's not the right person. All right. Let's see. Here's this.
And this afternoon, that breaking news that we're following for you is that a person was reportedly shot and killed in an incident involving ICE in Maine this morning. This is according to local and state government officials.
Pro-immigrant rights groups say the victim was a Colombian man. It all happened in Biddeford, Maine. That's about 18 miles south of Portland. NBC 10's immigration reporter Oscar Margain is on it. He joins us live from Biddeford near the scene of the shooting with the latest. Oscar?
Yeah, we're actually here at the intersection of Pool and Hill Streets where the shooting happened this morning. It's sparked community outrage and for members of this community to rally.
I heard a gunshot. I thought it was a backfire. And then I kept hearing them and I thought it was a drive-by shooting.
M. Akerley is still processing a fatal shooting Monday morning.
So this is the person who they said that the stuff about executing him and stuff, but she didn't see it. She just said she didn't see it. She said, I just heard it. I thought it was a drive-by shooting. She didn't see what was going on. She just heard it. So just keep that in mind.
Near her home on Pool and Hill Streets.
I get up and look out the window and I see a small white car being corralled by two men trying to stop it from losing control around the intersection.
Biddeford police said immigration and customs agents were involved in the incident, but did not provide specifics as to that involvement. The organizations of Maine Immigrant Rights Coalition and Presente identified the victim as a 26-year-old Colombian man who was authorized to work in the United States. However, investigators have not confirmed that information. The news prompted dozens to gather at Mechanics Park nearby, demanding answers and accountability from ICE.
Knowing that violence like what happened today is happening just makes me very emotional.
It's incredible how many people are here and are ready to stand up and say no more.
Conservative podcaster John Featherston urged restraint.
I would just tell people to be cautious until all the facts come out.
Maine Senator Angus King said he spoke with the Homeland Security Secretary about the shooting victim.
He had been given an order to leave the country. He was in a vehicle, pulled out in the vehicle, and the term the secretary used was weaponize the vehicle.
Let's see. Just gotta be a better way of going after the worst criminals, in my shitty opinion. No, I mean, it would help. Here's the thing: the easiest way that this would work, and we would not have this, is if we didn't have these jurisdictions that refuse to honor the detainers, and when they actually have the people in jail, they contacted ICE and let ICE come and grab them instead of hiding them. That's the problem. All these areas where this is happening, Jerry, is areas where the local police and the politicians and the sheriffs and the jails, they refuse to honor the ICE detainers and then let them get them out of jail. This would not happen. This stuff doesn't happen in Florida or in Texas. I mean, well, it did happen in Texas because Houston wasn't holding the guy, but the stuff wouldn't happen if they just, like Chicago, other areas, if you arrest somebody, and first of all, you have to find out if they're, an illegal alien when you arrest them. A lot of places don't even do that. But when they find out, and when ICE says, hey, we want this guy, tell ICE okay and let him come get him. It would solve a lot of these issues. Yes, definitely. So that's her normal vocabulary. Hey, what's up? How you doing, Tim? Howdy, cleaning the pool. I don't know if you guys know, Tim has his own channel. It's called The Scourge of Tyranny on YouTube and Rumble, Scourge of Tyranny. It's a great show. He does usually, I think, on Thursdays and Sundays. Maybe check it out. Give him a sub. Scourge of Tyranny.
He was shot by an ICE agent.
The incident concerning and disheartening for those in the community.
This could be any one of us. And at this point, communities need to come together in solidarity with each other.
And we're back out live here. You can see there's a memorial starting to build here at this intersection with some flowers that community members have been dropping off. Now, the FBI did confirm to us that agents were here to assist investigators. Now, Biddeford police said that they're not part of the investigation. We did reach out to multiple agencies and officials to try to get more information about what happened. We'll bring you the latest. Reporting live from Biddeford.
I did not hear him say at all that it wasn't the intended target. Where did he say that? Anywhere in here that this guy wasn't the intended target? Did I miss it? You have friends in Biddeford? It says it in the very beginning of the video. All right. Let's see.
And this afternoon, that breaking news that we're following for you is that a person was reportedly shot and killed in an incident involving ICE in Maine this morning. This is according to local and state government officials.
Pro-immigrant rights groups say the victim was a Colombian man. It all happened in Biddeford, Maine. That's about 18 miles south of Portland. NBC 10's immigration reporter Oscar Margain is on it. He joins us live from Biddeford near the scene of the shooting with the latest. Oscar?
Yeah, we're actually here at the intersection of Pool and Hill Streets where the shooting happened this morning. It's sparked community outrage and for members of this community to rally.
I heard
cut off in the beginning.
I thought it was a backfire.
Cut off in the beginning by, I don't understand. I'm listening to the whole thing.
And then I kept hearing them, and I thought it was a drive-by shooting.
M. Akerley is still processing a fatal shooting Monday morning near her home on Pool and Hill Streets.
You're saying it was here somewhere? I didn't hear it? It still needs to be verified. Too early, I think, and he should have stopped if he didn't hear it. Sent you on text. All right.
First at 7, new developments on a deadly shooting in Biddeford, Maine. A person was killed during an encounter with immigration enforcement officers. Good to have you.
Hold on. Let me just bookmark this real quick. All right. I'll pull it up in 1 second. I got it now. Thank you. I'll pull it up right now. Give me 1 second here. I'll do this right now. YouTube. Watch later. There we go.
First at 7, new developments on a deadly shooting in Biddeford, Maine. A person was killed during an encounter with immigration enforcement officers. Good to have you with us. I'm Glenn Jones.
I'm JC Monahan. 2 state officials say the Secretary of Homeland Security told them that the person who died was not the intended target of the warrant. NBC 10's Colton Bradford has been tracking this news. He joins us in the newsroom now with more. Colton?
Yeah, Glenn, JC, good evening. There's a lot of information here. We're learning more tonight about what led up to this deadly shooting. Biddeford police have confirmed that ICE agents were involved, and new tonight, actually just a few moments ago, the agency, ICE, is now releasing its first account of what happened. So this is a look at the scene from this morning. ICE agents say that they were conducting surveillance on the last known address of someone with a final order of removal. When they say they attempted to stop a vehicle, the agency says the driver of that vehicle tried to flee, and an officer fired his weapon after fearing for public safety. Now, 2 immigrant rights organizations have identified that man as who was killed as a 26-year-old Colombian who they.
So I don't know why they cut that out of the other one, but why didn't? But that's not what what's his face said. That's not what Angus King says. The senator from Maine. He said it was that they said the guy was ordered removed. So I don't know. I wish they'd get their story straight. I really do. But this is all I have. This witness's statement. So this guy says he saw it. All right. So I'll play this again.
I would say 7:15. I was driving through the intersection at Hill Street and Pool Street. And as I was approaching, you could see flashing blue lights. And then as I got closer, they were unmarked. So I assumed they were ICE. And then you could see them with their green.
Well, I mean, it depends on if I get enough money to keep going. I mean, right now we are $62 away from a first additional hour and $12 away from Bellavision. So if we get the $62, we'll keep going. If we don't, we got about, let's see here. It looks like we got 30 minutes left on the goal. So we got at least 30 minutes, probably, probably 30, 40 minutes left to show if we don't get the goal. They are deceptive and will lie to you. Not verified by investigators. NBC would never lie just to make ICE look bad. Yeah, I don't know. If ICE, here's the thing, if it doesn't matter, if any police were looking for somebody and they stopped me and I just said, fuck you, you got no reason to stop me, and tried to drive away, and I drove at a cop, I would get shot. Anybody would. That's what happens. You can't do it. So if that's what happened, if he drove with the cop, it's terrible that he's got a young kid and everything.
Closer, they were unmarked, so I assumed they were ICE, and then you could see them with their green vests and stuff, and it said police, ICE. And so as I actually was going through the intersection, I heard yelling. So I know I'm supposed to be paying attention, but I heard yelling off to so I looked and I was watching, and the ICE agent was yelling and drew his weapon, and he kept yelling and warning the person driving, which is when the car was put into drive and was trying to hit the ICE officer. And he fired, I would say, probably 4 shots at him. And then by that time, I was also through, the intersection, so I just heard the popping. But I did see him draw his gun at the windshield. And then the car, you could see the car in the back, like rolling down the street afterwards.
Okay. Anne-Marie says, go back and listen to whatever rights group said that, not the officials. Okay. Yeah, well, I don't know, because Angus King said that Secretary Mullen told him that the guy had a final order of removal. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. They would tell you it was an honor student going to volunteer for the elderly if they thought they could get away with it. Okay. All right. Hey, good evening, Kelly. You made it up full time. So this is another situation we'll have to keep watching and see where it goes and continue to collect the facts. That's all we can do is collect the facts and report them as best we can. But thank you. While life is rough, I don't plan on quitting at 6, which I think is 9. I think you're in maybe Pacific time zone, West Coast. Probably closer to 9:30, 6:30, unless we hit the goal, and then we'll go another hour. So, and we are currently $12 away from Bellavision and $62 away from adding an hour. The Immigrants' Right Group said that he had a work permit, not the officials. Right. Yeah. Jerry says, love this show. We'll love you too, man. Thank you. Right there, that means we are 60 away from adding an hour and 10 away from Bellavision. Thank you so much. The media is good for playing the game of telephone. Everybody is. So, and then Jim Banks brings legislation for the 2. Jim Banks brings legislation to classify illegal aliens as invaders and bar them from entry to the U.S. under the Wong Kim. It's not Wong King Ark ruling. It's the Wong Kim Ark. It's not King. It's Kim. So this is a spell check or AI written because they spelled it wrong. New website coming, Jim. Well, thanks. Paid to shop. All right, cool. So Roberts had relied on the landmark ruling from Wong Kim Ark for the majority ruling in Trump v. Barbara. Maybe we can get ICE some very high-powered tasers and avoid all this completely. Something. I mean, they could go back to using like billy clubs and water hoses and stuff like that, and just, I mean, think about it. I mean, people didn't like the way it looked. I'm not talking like Rodney King. I'm talking about earlier, like in the 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. They would just clunk somebody over the head and then knock them out and take them away, and they might be able to have a bruise or a bump, but they were alive. I don't know. Tasers. I don't know. I don't have the answers. So Indiana Senator Banks brought a bill on Monday that would end birthright citizenship for children born to illegal immigrants who were born on U.S. soil as a result of booming birth tourism. The legislation would classify these groups of people as invaders under federal law. The legislation follows the Supreme Court ruling that overturned Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship, declaring that any person born on U.S. soil for any reason is a de facto U.S. citizen. Tasers are not reliable, and amping the juice could cause other issues, and back to square one. Yeah. I mean, we don't want to electrocute people. If it's too powerful, it could stop their heart. Waste Quake Ranger says, if you're too effing stupid to quit LARPing around ICE. That too. These idiots want to believe that if ICE is eliminated as an agency, their slave caste won't be removed by the FBI or other law enforcement groups. tranquilizer guns. Oh yeah, that's what. Honestly, that would be a good idea. Them guns like what was it? What was that? Step Brothers? Was it Step Brothers? The one with Will Ferrell when he tranked himself? No, it wasn't Step Brothers. That was, what was it called? Like Back to School, or no, Old School, where Will Ferrell tranked himself in the neck and fell in the pool, right? That was Old School, wasn't it? Water rules the population is in cold spots. Yes. So Trump tried to bar citizens, children born to those who are not domiciled without legal or permanent status. Banks told Fox that he intends to introduce the Citizenship Act as soon as the Senate reconvenes. The bill's framing stems from the language from Justice Brett Kavanaugh's concurrence. The rule against Trump's order, Roberts relied on Wong Kim Ark. The historic case states that birthright citizenship does not apply to the kids of diplomats, enemies within the United States, or those engaged in hostile occupation. Old school. Yeah, that's what I thought. Old school. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Defibrillator paddles upside the head. Oof. I mean, you don't want to kill people with the electricity, though. That's the thing. So historic case cites that does not apply to these people and in whose domains are being invaded. Roberts had reaffirmed his ruling with the case, but Banks is set to use the ruling against itself, that the GOP lawmakers are not fighting hard enough. So let's hear him.
Wrote in his concurrence, where he didn't totally disagree, but he didn't totally agree with the majority either. What he wrote was, in my view, the executive order does not violate the 14th Amendment. It just violates a federal statute. And he gives out the federal statute, 18 USC 1401A. But then he simply adds that Congress could amend that statute or pass a new bill establishing exceptions to birthright citizenship for children born to foreign citizens unlawfully or temporarily in the country, but Congress has not yet done so. And then he had that in his concurrence. President Trump then added his support for something like that on Truth Social. So it seems, though, that Kavanaugh is pointing out, as far as I read it, that the 14th Amendment doesn't explicitly cover this, but what they're talking about is the mechanism of doing it through an EO versus doing it through a law, which, as the president says, and as you say, is a much lower bar than a constitutional amendment.
Yeah, Justice Kavanaugh is giving us the direction for Congress to do what we should do, and that's to pass a bill to stop it from happening.
Yes, to stop it from happening. Hey, look at that. Television. Thank you so much, Christine. Where is she? Where'd she go? Where'd she go? I know I just saw Christine. Where'd she go? Christine, where'd she go? Did I pass her up? Well, thank you, Christine, for the 15 on Cash App. With that 15, folks, that means we are now just 45 away from adding a first additional hour of the show, and Bellavision is activated. Thank you. So 45 away from a first additional hour. Thank you so much to everybody who's been so generous tonight. Oh, awesome to see. Thank you. I have my air conditioner on. It's cold in my house. Well, it's better to be cold than hot. Yes, thank you, Christine. Thank you so much. Anytime. Kavanaugh, weak ass. Yeah. Post-millennial. Charlottesville statue melted down into racial diversity monument. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Pay Bella her dues. There she is. I missed it. I walked away. Yeah, well, there she is. There she is. She's chilling. She's chilling.
You look at the struggles with the Save America Act, but I hope that this Supreme Court decision will inspire some of my weak-kneed Republican colleagues to come back to Washington and just do what the voters expect us to do. They expect us to pass a bill to require voter ID when voters vote or when they register to vote, which is common sense, by the way. 80% of Americans support that, Republicans and Democrats. I actually think, Jack, that this birthright citizenship issue is an 80-20 issue as well. I mean, I think most Americans would agree that you can't exploit the system in a corrupt way like what's happening currently to grant birthright citizenship through some of these avenues. So I hope we can come back and solve this with a with a simple bill. I'm not going to hold my breath and fool myself into thinking that any Democrat will vote for it. But let's explore every legislative avenue that we have, which means, by the way, that we have to fight, and we need strong Republicans in the Senate and the House who are willing to fight for these issues. And that's been my biggest frustration in the United States Senate in the last year and a half that I've been there. I served in the House for 8 years. Before that is the lack of fight. We need Republicans to step up and fight. And that was the message that President Trump brought last week. He came and had lunch with us with Senate Republicans. And he brought a tough love message. He said, you guys aren't fighting hard enough. You're not fighting hard enough for the Save America Act. You're not fighting hard enough for the Trump agenda. And President Trump is right. We have a short window of time, just 6 months left in this year to fight hard for these issues. And now we have to put this birthright citizenship issue right at the top of the list, along with the Save America Act, as top priority to pass before the midterm election.
Wow, interesting. I am not donating to Repubs anymore. They suck too. So disappointed in them. Yeah. I mean, I never donate to a party. I donate to a candidate, a personal candidate that I like. If a candidate says the things and does, and I think they're going to actually do what they say they're going to do, I'll support them, a person, not a party. Isn't he from the state that refused to redistrict? Fix your state, man. Yeah. Indiana. Yeah, what a joke. What a joke. When will independent run USA instead? Not sure, ever. No, I don't think it will ever pass. Yeah, probably not. The Dems will filibuster it. Life Indifferent says, death penalty for any illegal convicted of any felony in the U.S. That's how much I don't care anymore. I don't know if that's constitutional. You know, saying gotta stay within the Constitution. So the wording in the bill uses invaders to describe illegal aliens who are in the U.S. for birth tourism. So the bill, so we'll see. So the bill doesn't try to amend the Constitution or challenge the court ruling. It works within the framework. So he referenced James Madison's 1788 writings, which argued that naturalization authority belongs to Congress alone, not individual states. Okay, we'll see how that goes, if it works out. And then this is basically just an update for Thursday. Watch on Truth Plus. Set your reminder Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Watch it live, record it, or catch it later. President Trump will make a speech to the nation, 9 p.m. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Christine says, Republicans never fight hard. They need to pull their panties out of their asses and get to work. Why do we have to stay within the Constitution, Jim? The Dems don't. Well, because I still want to live by the constitutional order. If things get to that point where we don't live by the constitutional order, it's going to be bad for everyone. Then what are the rules? Milton Friedman, the quickest way that a country could devise its own demise is to have a welfare state with open borders. Well, that's true. That is 100% true. The rhinos in Indiana refused to redistrict, got primary. Well, yeah, that's the Pence people, the anti-Trump people. Wildlife is Rough says, I think this is a spiritual fight. How can so many people be this evil? This is run by the devil. Yes, I agree. I agree. Something doesn't seem right. Okay. And this story says a renowned feminist historian loses professorship as experts tear apart her so-called historical findings. Is he doing a speech or a summary of what he's done? I think he's doing, yes, you're right. The filibuster is not in the Constitution. So yeah, the filibuster doesn't need to be there. Is he doing a speech or a summary of what he's done? I think he's doing a speech about, from what I read, I'm not 100% sure. I think they're going to release some findings about what the FBI has found in Georgia with the 2020 election, and not the presidential election, the Senate races in Georgia, the 2 Senate races, the runoffs. That's what I understand. That's what I've read. I don't know if that's true or if it's just people saying that. So a black feminist historian whose work is being labeled as misleading and who may have lost her cushy job says it comes down to an attack on black women. Oh, of course. It's just because she's black, not that she lied and made shit up. She wrote a book called The Grimps. The Grimkeys or the Grimps was hailed for its narrative about slaveholding family and its work in the abolitionist movement. Publishers Weekly put the book on its list of the top books of the year, while the American Historical Association handed Greenridge the Joan Kelly Memorial Prize, which honors scholars in women's history and feminist theory. Feminist theory. What do you know? But the glow is dimmed as the furor over her flimsy factual foundation is being linked to the end of her gig as a tenured professor in the Department of Studies in Race, Colonialism, and Diaspora at Tufts. Like, why do we have professors like this? This is why colleges cost so much money. This is why the increase in costs and the increase in staff and all these things have happened everywhere, because they just keep making crap up. Author accused of fabrication and plagiarism claims she's the victim of discrimination against black women. Oh, of course. Yeah. So Myra Glenn, a retired professor of American history at Elmira College, was among the first to question what she was reading in 2024 when she was reviewing the book for a journal. I said, where is she getting this? Boy, it became a major problem. She did not pull punches in its review, writing, all too often, Greenridge lacks the evidence to substantiate many of her major claims. Her work is also riddled with factual errors and repeatedly omits needed endnotes. Glenn noted that while Greenridge said key letters she cited were held by the University of Michigan, they were not. Greenridge even said racist critics are out to get her. I am heartbroken that a field I've given my life to can treat me this way. She looks like she's what, like in her 20s? How old is this woman? Like, giving her life to? I've never plagiarized anything in my life. I've never fabricated anything. Okay, I'm calling bullshit. So she's probably lying about everything. But she added, are there citations that were misattributed? Probably. Oh, so she's just incompetent? She's not a liar? We need to shut down every gender and ethnic studies department. They make people dumber. Yeah, they do. Patrick Collins, a representative of Tufts, would not discuss when Greenridge and Tufts parted ways, but said that as early as December 2022, the college was aware of criticisms that the book contained multiple errors of fact and failed to give appropriate credit to the work of another. Drops his C messages on X announcement made by President Trump. Thank you. And with that, 5 folks, that means we are now just $40. Just 40 away from adding an hour. 40 away. Thank you so much, Rob. All the Dems want to have New Year's laws so they get paid from violating laws. Yes. I was in Ilhan Omar Stan on Thursday. That place is a joke. We could start there. Yeah, totally. All right, I'll pull that up in a second. Thank you so much, Rob. The university initiated a thorough peer review involving a panel of external scholars, which identified multiple errors of fact and citation. In keeping with its commitment to ethical conduct, the university proactively moved to correct the public record by informing the publisher, W.W. Norton, of its peer-reviewed findings. The book no longer appears to be sold on Norton's website. Greenridge said the college probe of her work was initiated by a white woman against whom Greenridge sought a restraining order. Oh, you got a restraining order from somebody who looked into your work? Sorry. While life is rough, says everyone keep praying. Well, yeah, everyone should pray every day. Yes, please hit the like. Please follow the stream on Rumble. Please share the stream out. Please hit the like and subscribe. Please do all that stuff. It's greatly appreciated. So the independent review by outside experts was fair, fact-based, thorough. Collins, meanwhile, said, we stand by the review and strongly deny any allegations of bias. So the Greenridge book, Black Radical, which is about civil rights activist William Monroe Trotter, won the Mark Linton History Prize from Columbia's Journalism School. Stephen Fox wrote a 1970 biography about Trotter, who said he had issues with the Greenridge book. It seems well done, except when you look at the footnotes, Fox said, noting that he could not find the material cited using the sources Greenridge list. Sorry. At John Lewis's funeral, Obama said that the filibuster is a Jim Crow relic and should be abolished. He was correct about that. Pass the Save America Act. Yeah. 60 people watching need to hit the like. Well, there was a lot more people watching before that need to hit the like. I mean, we had over 300 people here for a while. Now we got 140 and only 90 likes. Wow, man. You guys really hurt my feelings when you don't hit the like button. Just saying. Now Dick Shirley's going after New York. Yeah. So I started to think maybe it wasn't just sloppy, he said. I think it's something deeper. So yeah, so it's probably something deeper, probably just a bunch of lies. Somebody figured out that they could just write whatever they wanted, and people would be afraid to say anything because, you know, you can't criticize a black woman. Urine says 142. Wow. Awesome. You haven't seen all the enemies Trump has in the Republican Party. The answer is lip service, but never due to no action. Terrible. Uh-oh. Spaghettios. Marco Rubio slams radical extreme International Criminal Court as the Trump administration limits its power over the U.S. Well, it has no power over the U.S. We are not signatories to it. Alex Haley got busted when historians shredded roots. Yeah. Couldn't believe the airport in mini Somalia. I think English is the third language. Probably. Trump administration launched a major effort to weaken the ICC, making the argument the organization threatens U.S. sovereignty by attempting to investigate or prosecute American officials and military members. Yeah, it has no authority. Administration is seeking to pressure the court and encourage other nations to reduce their cooperation with the body. The campaign is being led by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who argued that the ICC does not have legitimate authority over Americans because the United States is not a member of the court. The administration's push comes during longstanding U.S. opposition to the investigation involving American personnel and its recent actions involving U.S. ally Israel. Life Indifference says our government hasn't been following the Constitution for decades. It's a shame. That's where I was last week. What a disgrace. Does it say in the Constitution that Congress and the Senate only work 165 days a year? No, I don't think it says. I don't think it says anything about the days they work or anything like that. They work less, I think. So Rubio revealed the administration intends on targeting the international body in an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal. U.S. is launching a diplomatic campaign with a simple message: sovereign states over globalism. Using all the tools of our government's disposal, working beside every ally with whom we can make common cause, we will dismantle the ICC brick by brick. The International Criminal Court seeks to become an unaccountable arbiter of new global law, empowered to prosecute and arrest our citizens at will and existentially threaten American sovereignty. We will teach the ICC the full meaning of American resolve. For 250 years, Americans have governed ourselves as a free and sovereign people. We choose our own leaders, determine our own laws, and when we're accused of a crime, we stand for judgment before a jury of our own peers. This is the essential and indispensable feature of our form of government. It is the foundation of our shared way of life. But today, powerful people in faraway places want to take that away from us. Wait, is he going to talk? Let me look and see if there's a video of him talking, saying all this stuff. Wait, they could have had the video of him saying this stuff. That would have been a good way to do it. Let me see. I think I might have it somewhere. Let me look. Let me just see. Let me see if I have it here, if there's a video somewhere. Oh, here it is. Yep, there is a video. Got it. Got it.
For 250 years, Americans have governed ourselves as a free and sovereign people. We choose our own leaders, we determine our own laws, and when we're accused of a crime, we stand for judgment before a jury of our own peers. This is the essential and indispensable feature of our form of government. It is the foundation of our shared way of life. But today, powerful people in faraway places want to take that away from us. They believe that they should be in charge of your laws, of your country, your life, and they don't care whether or not you agree. Halfway across the world, there's an institution that calls itself the International Criminal Court. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't. But chances are you don't know the names of its judges, of its prosecutors, or its president. And you shouldn't have to. But as we speak, the ICC and its friends are waging a war against our country, not with bullets or missiles, but with statutes, and compacts, and the force of so-called international law. When the ICC was born 24 years ago, they told us that it was merely a narrow backstop, a global court that would step in to prosecute only the gravest offenses, things like genocide and war crimes, and only when a nation's courts were unable to prosecute them on their own. But the truth is, it was something far more radical and extreme. It was a global tribunal staffed by unelected globalist bureaucrats who claim their power is almost unlimited. The danger of this global court has only continued to grow. Today, it threatens every aspect of our political and legal system. Border Patrol agents removing violent criminals from our country, American Marines risking their lives to defend our homeland, prosecutors working to dismantle terrorist plots to attack and kill Americans. If we stand idle, all of them would be at the mercy of foreign judges thousands of miles away, facing the constant risk of prosecution and even imprisonment for the so-called crime of defending their own country. The American people never agreed to any of this, and they never will. Read the words of our Declaration of Independence. We fought a revolution against a foreign power, transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses. Independence is our birthright. We will never let foreign bureaucrats take that away from us. This administration will not sit by as the ICC and its allies seek to threaten our people. If they believe they can deprive us of our sovereignty, we will teach them the full meaning of American resolve.
Wow, he ain't screwing around, huh? That's pretty good. I like that he's impressing me. He didn't impress me as my senator, but he's impressing me. Greg says, hell, we have SCOTUS Justice citing Wikipedia as a source for some of their oral arguments. Nothing new about fake sources citations. Right. Yes, they may work less than half a year, but they F us every day, all day. Yes. Minnesota airport should be sued for allowing millions of tax dollars to leave the U.S. Yes. We've been living under a phony constitution since 1871. Yes. Muslims are taking over the USA slowly. Yeah, they are. I wonder if President Rubio will be this tough. Boy, I hope so. One world order. That's what they want. Okay, Mr. Big, talk about getting rid of dual citizenship. Yeah, they should, right? Definitely. I would like Pete Hegseth as president. Well, maybe he can take his turn. Let's see here. There we go. President Trump is expected to announce foreign interference in the 2020 election in a Thursday night speech. There you go. So President Trump is expected to announce foreign interference on the 2020 election. He's going to make an important speech to the nation. According to MS Now, Trump will speak about the newly declassified intelligence. Trump's Thursday speech is slated to address the newly declassified intelligence reports the White House asserts reveals the plans by foreign nations to interfere in the 2020 election. White House task force releasing classified documents related to 2020. A new task force reviewed thousands of pages. The U.S. is expected to begin releasing the documents within weeks. President Trump plans to deliver a Thursday evening address about the newly declassified documents. Earlier this year, the FBI raided Fulton County's election offices. The records include those who were performing the following functions: individuals assigned to review mail-in ballots, individuals assigned to voter review panel, individuals assigned to transfer results, mobile voting locations, Fulton Board of Registrars, volunteers for risk limiting, volunteered for the recount, volunteers for precinct managers. The U.S. District Judge, a Trump appointee, quashed the subpoenas. Oh, no. Judge Ray said the grand jury subpoena was unreasonable. Really? We'll have to see. So maybe that's what that's about. Paramount could ditch California over Newsom's war on Warner Brothers merger. So a advisor close to Paramount CEO David Ellison has encouraged the company to reconsider relocating its headquarters and shifting tens of billions of dollars in the future to investments elsewhere. Hey, look at this. Rob Bellatrix, thank you. Thank you so much. With that, folks, that means we're just 30 away from adding a first additional hour. So I just want to point out that as long as I'm still going, if the money comes in, we extend the show. Right now, we're 30 away from adding an hour. Thank you so much, Rob, for the 10. Another leak. Trump said nothing to indicate what his speech was about. Yeah, well, that's the thing. They're leaking the stuff out here. So the Newsome administration's hostilities towards the merger between Paramount and Warner Brothers could mean entertainment giant leaves California after it has been revealed the state may sue to block Paramount's proposed $110 billion deal. And I can just tell you that I do have a story. It's down in the stack that we probably won't get to, but they did, in fact, California and 11 other leftist states decided to go ahead and sue to try and stop the merger. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Bannon went off about the leak. Yeah, it's crazy, right? So Joe for 2 says, rally, come on. That's right. If everybody gave 2, we'd be here for several hours. That means we're now just $28 away from adding a first additional hour. Thank you so much, Joe, and to all the rest of the people here. So Newsome ran another company out of California. Not shocked. I hope Patrick Byrne is with Trump on Thursdays. We need to put California. They suck and are a fraud. Or maybe take out California. According to a report from Semaphore, advisors close to Paramount have encouraged the company to reconsider relocating its headquarters and shifting tens of billions of dollars in future investment elsewhere. If California Attorney General Rob Bonta files an antitrust lawsuit to block the deal, discussions reportedly include relocating the company's headquarters and shifting much of its planned $30 billion in annual content spending away from California. Saw an interview with a woman who owns a prop company in LA and said most of her dwindling orders are out of state and country, but her rents keep going up. Yes, I saw that too. Basically, and she said it's killing their business. Basically, other people have gone under because, they don't make anywhere near the money they used to make if they're not filming locally. Because it's easier to come and get props and do stuff when they have to ship the stuff and everything. It increases the cost, and they can always just try to find stuff locally. We're all poor. Well, at least I am. Well, I know I am too, but the show must go on. So I don't take it personally if we don't hit the goal. There's been reports that Bonta may sue to block the deal. Newsome has increased funding for the antitrust litigation. It comes after the New York Times reported on Sunday that the lawsuit loomed over the company from New York and California. Yes. Hey, Drunken Senpai has rated the stream. Thanks so much, Rich, from Off Label Podcast, for rating the stream on Rumble. Thank you so much. Some of her props were sweet. Yeah, she had some really good props. Yeah. So one advisor described California as an inhospitable place to do business if the state chooses to fight the deal in court. That's right. We did have a raid on Rumble. Thank you so much. Salty C goes, here's mine for 2. Thank you. We just need about another, 8 people. Or no, I'm sorry, not 8. Let's see, that's 1 hour, $26 away, folks. Just 26 away. So we just need 13 people with $2, and that'll get us the thing. What's up, Rich? How you doing? Rumor is Paramount will move to the Turner Broadcasting campus in Atlanta. Just hopping in for the comment and like. Got to go to bed. Well, thanks, Rich. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the raid. Other Yellow says, raid, thank you so much. Can we get Somalia to give donations back to us? Maybe. Thank you. Yeah, it's Off Label Podcast. Thank you so much, Off Label and Rich. Thank you. Thank you, Salty C. Yeah, just 13 more people give $2, or 3 people give 5. We're right there. Or not 5. I'm sorry, no. 5. I don't know where we're at. We're not that 26 away. So if Paramount ultimately relocates, it would join a growing list of major companies that have left California amid complaints over taxes, regulations, and the state's business environment. Recent departures include Chevron, Tesla, Oracle, which all established new headquarters in Texas. I believe Twitter also left, if I'm not mistaken. Or is Twitter still in San Francisco? I thought they were leaving. Maybe they didn't. They all established headquarters in Texas. Paramount has already expanded outside of California after signing a lease last year for 300,000 square feet of space in Bayonne, New Jersey, giving it another potential operating hub. Bayonne, New Jersey. Wasn't there a famous boxer from Bayonne, New Jersey? Or am I thinking of something else? Whoa, life is rough. Wow, life is rough says, keep going. It's been a bad day. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. $2 is to the ferries. $2 is to ferries. Thank you so much for the 5. That means now we're just 21 away from adding a first additional hour. We're just a blackjack away, folks. Just a blackjack away at 21. Great Eagle goes, here's 10. Enjoy Bella. Get some treats there. Wow. Thank you so much. That means now, folks, we're just 11 away, just 11 away from a first additional hour. Thank you so much. Then we got 2 from Jerry, says, go 49ers. Thank you. Right there, that means we're just 9, folks. We're just 9 away. We're single digits, $9 away. He says, Joe says, I like you. Go Niners. Mm-hmm. All right. Goal. Did we hit the goal? I don't think we hit the goal. 9 more Quadaloos. Yeah, that's what we need to get the goal. We're still did I miss something? We didn't hit the goal yet. We're still 9 away. Still 9 away, Joe. Still 9 away. So, but we'll keep. Oh, there we go. Wow, keep going. Well, thank you. With that,
tactical assessment. Red Chinese victory. Impossible. America will never fall to communist invasion.
I did.
Communism is the very definition of failure.
I got Great Eagle first before Jerry's. But that 10 from Wildlife is Rough, that means we're now just 99 away from adding a second additional hour. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then 2 from Sylvie. Thank you so much. That means that we are now just 97 away from a second additional hour. Thank you. All right. You thought I missed super chat? I didn't. I grabbed it before the $2 one, so I got it, but I didn't miss it. So with that, folks, we have an extra hour. I'm going to start the goal again on YouTube for 1 hour. And I'll do that right now. We're 97 away. 97 away. Come sail away. 97 away. Come sail away with me, love. Yes. Anyways, go. That's right. This is scary fun, and Joe might appreciate the vid. Anti-drone weapon goes haywire. Oh, I saw that. I'll pull that up. Yes. I'm on my porch learning Spanish here in SoCal, folks. Well, that's cool. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien, gracias. Yes. ¿Dónde está biblioteca? Right? Is that right? Thank you so much, everybody. We will continue this. So we continue to engage constructively with the remaining few regulators around the world still considering the merger, including state attorney generals, and are prepared to address any legitimate antitrust issues. So, yeah. So I believe it's already been approved. Fishing for more chat. That's right. Fishing for more. Always fishing for more money. I'm always fishing for more. Hooray! Thank you so much, everybody. All right. And so, yeah, this was very interesting. Says Russian anti-drone weapon goes haywire, nearly guns down its own troops. This is crazy what happens here. Crazy. Look at this. This guy does like this thing. He just they didn't, it was like a lock or something. They didn't engage. So without that, it's a problem. It was pure criticism. Oh. Well, I don't take criticism. Oh, you want more people in the chat to talk? I don't know. I can't control them. My Spanish is Gucci, so I'm good. Oh, there you go. So a Russian soldier narrowly escaped being killed after an improvised anti-drone weapon malfunctioned during a live test fire, sending thousands of rounds spraying across the military training ground. Donde está la biblioteca? Yeah, something like that, right? I don't know. Footage circulating widely on social media shows the Yak B 12.7 millimeter. Now, wasn't the Yak B? Wasn't that the name of a plane? The Yak B. And during World War II, a Russian plane during World War II, wasn't there a Yak B plane? Is that soldier wearing loafers? Probably. The IRGC have to move to mobile homes. Yeah, they will. It's pretty deep, Lassie. Bark, bark. And tongue doesn't work for Spanish at all. I tried. You just have to practice rolling your R's. So, moments after the gunner opened fire, the weapon violently spun out of control. The recoil threw the operator from his position. A second soldier standing in a truck narrowly avoided being struck as the rotating barrels passed within feet of him. Yeah, it would have took his head clean off. After several attempts, he managed to wrestle the weapon under control and halt the firing. Watch the clip below. Wow. You guys ready for this? Hold on. We're going to, so everyone can see it. This is crazy. Ready? Like, I don't. Wow. Wow, that was insane. Wow, that's insane. Insane. You've never been able to roll your R's. The gun is off an old MIL-24 chopper. The Yak is a plane manufacturer, Yakolev. The Yak-9 was a good fighter. Okay. On delay, that's all good, but I can't spell it. Okay. Dumb ways to die. It's again, LMAO. Oops. I can't roll R's, so dog is always butt. 100 ways to die. Please tell me that's AI. No, this is real. No, 1,000 ways to die show here. Like, this is real. Like, I don't understand. Like, is it because it's offset to the side on the thing? Like, why don't they just center it? Like, it doesn't make sense. Why don't they center the gun on the stand instead of having it offset like that? And then the recoil would come straight back. Like, they have it. It's a stupid setup. The gun is off to the right, so the force is going to make it spin. DEI military, maybe. Have AOC teach you Spanish. You can have Anna Navarro help you with the 2-syllable words. I mean, look, this is the problem. See, it's like offset. It's offset. The gun is offset to the right. I mean, it's just basically all that recoil is just making it pedo instead of padro, firing at dunks. Yes, too much vodka, too much vodka. That's what he gets. Yes, lucky that thing didn't take his head off. Yeah, I guess they were right when they said, you'll shoot your eye out. You can't get a BB gun, you'll shoot your eye out. Wow. So the incident highlights the increasingly improvised methods Russia has adopted to defend supply convoys from Ukrainian drones. Military units have begun creating so-called mobile firing units, mounting heavy weapons on trucks to shoot down incoming unmanned aircraft before they reach fuel and ammunition convoys. The Yak-B is capable of firing thousands of rounds per minute and was engineered for heavily reinforced helicopter mounts designed to absorb its enormous recoil. However, mounted on a lightly modified truck weapon proved too difficult to control. Footage has prompted fresh scrutiny of Russia's frontline improvisations as Ukrainian drones continue to target logistics hubs and supply routes. Ukrainian drone strikes on oil refineries across Russia have triggered widespread fuel crisis, with petrol shortages and rationing, leaving motorists waiting hours to fill their tanks. That's a real video. I'm glad I'm retired. Yes. Yeah, it's crazy. Where's Brandon Herrera when you need him? AOC's Spanish sounds like my Arabic. I wonder who engineered that thing. That's why the big dogs have the heavy. Ukraine has been escalating strikes on Moscow.
Ukrainian drones broke through Russia's defenses and struck a Russian oil refinery in Siberia. And this is not an exception. It's the new reality. And there is no major oil refinery left in Russia that has not been struck by Ukraine.
Interesting.
Как водитель машины еще более-менее терпимо заправляет, а как владелец катера это проблема. То есть катер
I don't know.
В канистры не заливают.
Oh, was that your bridge?
В Тверской области был недавно, там 20 литров в канистре заливают. В Московской области
They broken down Subi isn't friendly.
практически нереально.
Это же ужасно, это же надо день терять, просто его... Я с Новопеределкина приехала, просто по навигатору, по Яндексу забиваю, где есть бензин и выезжаю.
Пошли, пожалуйста, пошли.
Маршрутов доставки топлива до конечных потребителей вырос и спрос.
Putin's looking kind of old.
Совершенно, что противник стремится нанести ущерб экономике, но самое-то главное, стремится создать нервозную обстановку в обществе.
As the Russian government has introduced a ban on diesel fuel exports, initiated imports of petroleum products and production of lower grade petrol in a bid to ease the fuel crisis. Well, they're having problems too with the oil and gas and stuff. So, that says Rhino Chris Christie, who's a really big fat guy, says he predicts a monumental defeat for Republicans in the 2026 midterms, claims the party needs different ideas. What? These people are crazy, and he needs to go away. Yes, please give Off Label Podcast a follow on Rumble. They do conspiracies and other stuff really good. So Ukraine is still losing, but their drones are the new V1s and 2s. Iran pumped oil directly into the Strait for weeks. No greenies screeched about that. Yeah, they were just dumping the oil. Hey, what's up, Jen? How you doing? Hey, Jim Soniacs. So this Puerto Rican is not offended, and we don't butcher the language. Want to hear real bad Spanish? Dominicans is who you want. AOC Spanish is non-existent. She's a Yo Sabo speaker. Sandy Cortez grew up in wealthy Yorktown Heights. She ain't from the Bronx. She's not Sandy Cortez from the Bronx. She's not Billy Blanco from the Bronx. She's not Sandy Blanco from the Bronx. She's not Sandy Ortiz from the Bronx. She speaks Spanish like my kids, who, when they start speaking, I remind them I speak English. Putin is 73. I thought he was older. Chrissy needs a different type of diet. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if Chris Christie started eating like. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. Where has he been? Hanging out with all the Democrats. We need a different Republican than Chris Christie. Yes, we do. Occasional Cortex. That's her name. Yes. it feels like Putin has been there since the beginning of time. He's been there quite a long time. What's Yo Sabo Spanish? Mao. Hey, Joe, where you going with that Spanish in your hand? Bet she can make you a stiff drink. Well, I mean, it's not so much these days, but, you know, several years ago, she used to make a lot of things stiff. But she started to plump up nicely. I only know Spanish. Hey, yo, Espanol. So look at him. Tubby McTubster. There he is. Failed presidential candidate and longtime never Trumper Chris Christie is once again running his mouth about the Republican Party's supposed doom. Yeah, she stiffs you on the quality of the drink, definitely. The disgraced former governor made comments during his appearance on Hassan Majab's podcast. Oh, whatever. You know, Christie told the host that Republicans on our way to a monumental defeat and that losing would finally make voters reevaluate whether they really want to continue to hear the things that led to the losing or they want to hear some different ideas. You mean the ideas that they've been blocked from actually fucking doing by rhinos like Christie? Because they haven't done any of the shit that we've been promised. Holy crap. It's pronounced Yosei, but they mix it up and say Sabo from the verb saber, to know. Yo no sé. Yo no sé. Sandy worked in a watering hole. Yes. Definitely. That's how I feel. Failed Kanakistan. Yeah. Definitely. I speak poquito español. Poquito, which is small. I lived on PR for 8 years. Most folks, when I was there, cut off the words. The DR is a mess. We see them as floaters. When they try to make landfall, none could swim. The locals would. Wow. Mm-hmm. So, do you think Republicans want the truth? Well, certainly not all of them, but probably not a majority right now. Don't want the truth. Oh, okay. But you know what? When the forces of people you have to listen to, losing forces politically have to listen to truth. And when that happens, I think people, for practical reasons, will begin to reevaluate when they really want to continue to hear things that led to the losing. Oh, you mean like the losing that happened with Mitt Romney and the losing that happened with John McCain, that kind of losing? And the losing by cheating? Is that what you mean? Oh, I think they'll win the House, and frankly, I think they've got a better chance at the Senate today than I thought they would have given the map. Really? Oh, here, ready to hear Fat Slobicus? Like this guy and what's his face, Prickster, Fat Slob Prickster, should probably do some kind of like sumo wrestling or something.
Do you think the Republican voters want the truth?
Well, certainly not all of them right now.
All of them right now.
Probably not a majority of them right now. But you know what? You know what forces people to have to listen to the truth? Losing.
Oh, really? Really? Did the Democrats listen to any of the truth since they lost spectacularly in 2024? So why are they fighting everything and still acting like they won and stopping Trump in every way? I mean, why? What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to just go, well, we can't have what we want and voted for because we're being stopped by judges and by fat slob rhinos like you? Is that what we have to do? I mean, is what you're telling me is basically we no longer have a representative republic where people actually get what they voted for? Because that's what I'm hearing come out of your big fat pie hole. Jabba the Christie. Yeah.
Losing forces you politically to have to listen to the truth.
Oh, really? Did it force the Democrats to listen? Talk about aortic dissection. Yeah. How is this guy still walking around? Anyway, I can't believe they've had a bill for 2 years. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. Anyway, so I don't know. That guy needs to just go away. Revealed crotch harness, chest binders, and a trans child diary were on display at the Smithsonian. Is he fatter? Oh, yeah, he's fatter. He's gotten bigger. Bigger. Wow. So the National Museum of American History has chest binders, trans diaries, crotch harnesses. Trump administration has renewed its criticism of the Smithsonian, accusing the museum of promoting extreme political activism, because it is. The White House released a report on the Smithsonian and that it strayed from its mission of educating. The report was a response to a March executive order from Trump titled Restoring Truth and Sanity to American History. If Pritzker and Christie got close enough, they would form their own singularity gravity field and the universe would collapse upon itself. They would be like a binary something or other, like a peanut comet or a peanut asteroid that just linked together. So the White House, according to the White House, the museum has been attempting to indoctrinate students and teachers with its exhibits, accusing it of being subject to institutional capture by radical activist ideology that is fundamentally opposed to telling the noble, honest story of the greatest country in the world. The museum's entertainment exhibit, which is featured in the Smithsonian Programming for America's 250, taught that P.T.'s Barnum circus symbols reflect concerns about maintaining white supremacy. It told visitors that ukuleles are both a product of U.S. imperialism and a symbol of Native Hawaiian resistance. The Wild West shows turned the subjugation of indigenous people into theater, and that Mickey Mouse represents vestiges of longstanding traditions of blackface minstrelsy. What the fuck? The White House took issue with the museum's director, Anthea Hardage by name, who has led the museum since 2019. The shift from history to activism is clearly documented in this report. Hartig's directorship has explicitly stated that she sees history as a prime tool of social justice. Why are our tax dollars paying for this? And that she has connecting research and scholarship to activism and advocacy. The report highlights her belief that the museum's profession has to figure out how to problematize the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration. She has reportedly believed that loving America is very complicated and that objects in the museum collection should be used to move attention away from Anglo-centric focus on the Americans' founding. What? These are not words of an objective historian, and they are contradictory to the museum's founding purpose of fostering patriotism. It's in the documents that founds the Smithsonian, that pays for it, that says they're supposed to foster patriotism. So if that's not what they're doing, shut it the fuck down. They're USAID on steroids, and they're screwing up everything. That's what's going on with the schooling. That's what education is screwed up. It starts with these people. They're all activists. Fire them. Fire her. Exactly. Get her out of there. Mostly concerning, the White House noted a series of sexually suggestive materials inappropriate for children in the exhibits. Among those include magazine covers featuring nude young women, a rubber crotch harness designed for sadomasochism, pages from a 6-year-old girl's diary which expressed fear about getting boobs and wished for a non-existent penis to grow. Wow.
At the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History, you would expect to learn about, well, American history. But a new White House report says they are teaching anything but that. Extreme political activism. Apparently, that is what they are teaching. Now, Saturday in America got a copy of the report, and here is what was found on full display at the Smithsonian. A diary entry by a child named Ryan, who used to go by the name of Jennifer and now considers himself a boy. Ryan wrote in his diary that he prayed to God every night for his private parts to grow. A photo of a trans non-binary skateboarder's chest binder, a device used to make himself appear more like a man while skateboarding. And then there's an exhibit featuring images of drag queens and half-nude women. And another, a rubber crotch harness used for something I can't even say on air. In their Entertainment Nation exhibit, the museum dragged iconic American pieces through the mud. They framed ukuleles as, quote, both a product of U.S. imperialism and a potent symbol of Native Hawaiian resistance. That Wild West shows were subjugating indigenous people into theater, and that Mickey Mouse represents long-standing traditions of blackface. They called Christopher Columbus a murderer, slaver, killer, and
The
thief.
Smithsonian. This is the Smithsonian Institute, the frickin' Smithsonian Institute of National American History. Smithsonian American History Museum. Funded by our tax dollars, paying for this. Yeah, this is crazy. We should have beverages let low IQ people into this country. We should have beverages let low IQ people into this country. We should have never let. Okay, who can fire her? Seriously, I think the president can fire her if the museum is part of the executive branch, because there's only 3 branches of government. All right, and the Supreme Court's already ruled that anybody should have never. Yeah. So you can see Archie Bunker's chair, and BDS items. Yes. If the museum is part of the executive branch, which it probably is, because it's not part of Congress and it's not part of the judicial branch, so it's got to be part of the executive branch. So then the president can fire her. These smartphones are stupid, and it's pissing me off. White people are becoming a severe minority globally. We stop making babies. Japan is suffering too. Yeah, well, white people are only like 12 or 14%, I think, or less of the world population. Like, probably less. Think about it.
And framed Christian pilgrims as colonizers who referred to Thanksgiving as a national day of mourning. And get this, a 2020 document from a museum-endorsed toolkit lays out the aspects and assumptions of whiteness and white culture, saying that objective, rational, linear thinking and hard work are qualities of white people. They would go on to apologize for that, quote, whiteness memo. Now, the Smithsonian secretary disputes the White House report, writing in a statement, quote, while there will always be room for improvement, this report is not a fair characterization of the work and totality of the National Museum of American History. I think rational people would say the work we just showed speaks for itself. Well, Vince Haley, assistant to the president for domestic policy and director of White House Domestic Policy Council, the team behind the report, joins me now, and my former colleague. Vince, great to have you here. I went to the Smithsonian American History Museum in college. I went to Georgetown. I remember the First Lady exhibit. It was beautiful. It was glimmering. None of this was there. Who did this?
Well, they've changed the mission at the Smithsonian over the past few years. They used to be dedicated to telling an inspiring story about American history, but they've traded all that for political activism. And we don't have to guess about that. They put it in their documents, but they are committed to looking at history as a tool of social justice, to use the words of the director there. And they say they have to have a commitment to relevance. That means, as they've written, everything, whatever the subject, whatever the exhibit, has to come back to these things of race and gender, of gender and sexuality, of income inequality, of climate change. So they have taken on the mission of being ideological transformers of the country, and they want to create change agents, as they put it. So they want people to go away from the museums not happy or inspired about their country, but angry and looking to find ways to act and resist the political forces they oppose.
This is all straight out of the communist playbook, people. This is how you do it. This is what Yuri Bezmenov warned of. This is what I believe it was one of them, was it Brezhnev or one? They said they were going to do this, the Soviets, but it's the Chinese now too. And basically, it's the communists that are here. We have communists all over the place that are trying to destroy America. They're trying to eat us like a rot from the inside, and it has to stop. We have to root them out, root and stem. Columbus was a man of his time, and we owe him big for bringing the most successful ethnic group in the world, the white people, who made life here the best in the world. So tired of that bullshit narrative. Me too. Here. Yes, we should be protected as a minority. Definitely. Special protections. You need a white snack. Be right back. Yes. Just once, I'd like to hear Trump say, "You're fired." This would be a good candidate. Yes. Yeah. Whomever at the Smithsonian approved all this crap needs to be fired yesterday. Yes. Oh my freaking goodness. This is what we get when we stop teaching history, civics, Constitution, Bill of Rights, rule of law, and then incorporate DEI equals die. Yes. All this crap started in California. Yeah. A complete lie. It isn't even a government agency. It's not. It's not funded by tax dollars. Are you sure? Are you sure it's not funded by tax dollars? It's not administered by the federal government? Are you sure about that? Let me look it up. Who funds the Smithsonian? Created by the United States federal government for an increase in diffusion of knowledge. It operates as a trust instrumentally and is not formally part of the three branches. The institution named after its founding. Okay, so, but not the name. All right, so it's not part, it's a trust. So, but somehow, if it's funded by the United States government, we have to have some control over it. We have to have some way to stop it. It was never to present the truth. Okay. It is for a short week or month. The theme is sex because it's not American history. Started Columbia University. Critical theory was first taught at Stanford Law in the 1950s. The Smithsonian is an independent federal trust instrumentally of the U.S., established by an act of Congress, primarily funded by federal appropriation. It's not formally part of any of the three branches. Well, oh, so it stands alone. So it's like another one of these things that basically they created to just screw us over. Not that the rest aren't doing the same thing. All those whites need to go, people. Name on a countries run by brown or black are more successful. If you find it, move there. Donations. No, it says it's funded by the U.S. government by appropriations from the U.S. government. I mean, they might charge. I don't know if they charge admissions or stuff like that, but it says it's funded. Yeah, people losing history day by day. Yeah, isn't that how they got out of returning all the Indian bones? I don't know, because they're part of the government, maybe. Federal appropriations and trust funds. Yeah. The Smithsonian is funded through a combination of federal appropriations and private trust funds. Okay. Cut all the federal funds, they can knock themselves out with their bullshit. The Smithsonian is heavily taxpayer funded, 60 to 65% of its annual operating budget, exceeding $1 billion annually from the federal government. So now I can't be brodacious for my coastline. Braggadocious. Okay. There's a long list of newspaper articles with pics of things being sent to them, never to be seen again. Oh, I know that. They dispose of all types of stuff, the big bones, the giant bones and stuff. Smithsonian receives coins from the Treasury, then will auction some for big bucks. Auction house gets paid good. Wow. Instead of falling under a specific executive department, it's governed by a board of regents that includes members from all three branches, such as the vice president, the chief justice, and members of Congress. Wow. Any updates from CENTCOM? I'll check. This status allows it to function as a government establishment for most legal and funding purposes while maintaining administrative independence and ability to accept private gifts. 68% in Congress appropriations. McCarthy was correct in the 50s. I mean, I could check real quick to see.
It's amazing. And another line from the report that I couldn't believe. If you go to the museum today, you will find no major exhibit dedicated to America's founding era. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, the Founding Fathers, the Continental Congress, the Pilgrims, the Puritan are major movements of the American Revolution. How do you leave that out of American history?
Well, it only makes sense. It only makes sense if you understand that they have turned the Smithsonian History Museum into an ideological project. Again, they view American history as not quite right. They view American history not as a triumph, but as a tragedy. I don't think they view the American founding as good, but bad. And so everything that they present, they have to show that there are problems. In fact, the director of the museum said a few years ago when thinking about the 250th, she says we have to find ways to problematize the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Now, when you think about problematizing, you're not celebrating. In fact, she said we have to reframe the traditional narrative, the traditional celebratory narrative of American history. They view that as their mission. For whatever reason, they view the founding of this country as something that they have to overlook, and they do overlook. You go to Washington, D.C. today, you see the tallest building in Washington. It was the tallest structure, the Washington Monument, when it was built, the tallest structure in the world. But if you go to the History Museum today, you find no explanation for why the founding generation viewed George Washington in that incredible light. You find no explanation.
That's amazing. You know.
Wow. That's amazing. Wow. America, the country so many hate and won't leave it. One coin went for over 7 million. Jim needs better glasses. I do need to get new glasses. I have to go get new glasses. I'm having trouble with I need new bifocals. I'm having trouble with I need new bifocals. Sorry. I do. Or maybe I can start wearing my contacts again, but I was having issues with them. I was having some issues with them, so I stopped wearing them. So it should tell the truth about the nation's mistakes, but should do so within a coherent account of people striving. The Smithsonian secretary rejected the White House's characterization. Oh, well, whatever. We'll see. So you guys want to talk about communists play a long game? Yeah, they do. This actually pisses me off. I'd be willing to protest this crap. You guys want to talk about something good about history, something good? If you know anybody who's got young kids at all or anything, this is a friend of mine. His name is Sean Salter. He goes by Salty Draws, and he's got this is a great book, about Silence Dogood. Okay, and it's a comic book. All right, and this is issue number 6 that he's selling. I'm going to pull up the stuff in a second, but basically, Silence Dogood was the pen name of Ben Franklin. So he's wrote a book about a time traveling Ben Franklin. It's very good. It's not there is some factual history stuff in there, but then there's other stuff that's not. Obviously, it's a good story. It's very fun. Kids would like, if you have young kids, you want to get kids interested in history to wonder about this person, Silence Dogood or stuff like that. You could check it out. Maybe for younger, young adults and stuff. And his and it's for sale on a place called Fund My Comic, Volume 2. And this is his trailer. This is kind of an ad for him because, he's my buddy.
They told you AI was just a tool. The algorithms would decide what we see, what we hear, what we think. They promised safety, comfort, the perfect society. Benjamin Franklin saw the truth. It was a digital prison, and freedom surrendered is rarely returned. Now history itself is under attack. Because those who control the past control the future. The revolution against the algorithm has begun. Silence. Do Good. Volume 2.
So yeah, I will be on his show, on his channel, Salty and Savage, on Thursday evening after my show. Because Joe Neerman is supposed to be on Tim Pool on Thursday night, so I won't be with Joe on Thursday night. So I'll do my show Thursday at 7, and then I will be on Salty's show at like 10:30, 11 o'clock. So if you want to check it out. Reminds me I need to order volume 2. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be on his show Thursday evening, 10:30, 11 o'clock Eastern time and stuff. But I thought I would promote him. He's a friend, and it's a great book. I have them all, and I would recommend them for anybody who has young adults, or even older people can read it. Good stuff. Check it out if you want. Parents not letting kids in schools. Yes, your kind of guy. Yeah. So check it out if you want. I put the links in there. Joe on Tim Pool. Yeah, Joe's going to be on Tim Pool Thursday. So he won't be with me Thursday night. Does it have curse words? No, not really. No, not really. No, it's completely kid appropriate. I think he's. Let me look. I think he might have. That's just for the new one. Let me see if he has Here's his actual website if you wanted to order the if you wanted to order his if you wanted to order his act is like the previous copies or something directly from him. That's the pre-order, like the one that's not out yet. That one I listed before. So so if you wanted to check it out, his other work on his website, his turkeyrobot.com. But anyway, let's get back to the news. Sorry for the interruption. Former President Ahmadinejad reportedly put under house arrest by the IRGC after allegedly Israeli plot to install him. So, yeah, can you believe that? Can you believe that, huh? Can you believe that? Well, oh, no problem. Gunned? What? Joe on pool for what? I don't know. Talking about before I forget, SpaceX is going to try and launch the next tech Starship on Thursday. Cool. This guy, Ahmadinejad. So they're trying. People are claiming this guy might have been born in Israel. They might be a secret Mossad agent or something, I guess. I don't know. So the stories coming out of Iran nowadays are tricky and not always believable. That's why when we get a report that's interesting, we try to approach it with the proper care. For some characters of this war, the stories come in a series of bombastic and mutually excluding revelations. The new Ayatollah Mojabi Khamenei is gay. He was killed in an airstrike, or rather he was disfigured and maimed in an airstrike, or rather he's alive and well and leading the country. So the former Iranian president, Ahmadinejad, is the same as valid. Back in March, it was reported that he would have been killed if the first wave of Israeli airstrikes. And today, alternatively, a New York Times report has arisen that the former president has been placed under house arrest by the country's infamous Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The reason for his arrest is reportedly that he was part of a failed Israeli plot to install him in place of the current theocratic regime. Israel spent years cultivating former Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad as a potential intelligence asset and possible leader in post-regime Iran. As part of the effort, Israeli intelligence met him abroad, including in Hungary, using academic events as a cover. Yes, Ahmadinejad was one of the protesters that took over the U.S. Embassy in the 70s. That's right. Yes, he was. So former president is reportedly under house arrest after Iran uncovered its secret contacts with Israeli agents. So he's not been seen in public since the Israeli airstrike hit his compound in the early hours of Operation Epic Fury, after which he was spirited away to a safe house. The former president who ran Iran with an iron fist from 2005 to 2013 reemerged last week, apparently flanked by security guards during funeral ceremonies of the late Ayatollah, who was killed the same day as the strike on Ahmadinejad's compound. Joe has been on Tim Pool's show before, I believe. It's not like he'll say anything. Tim doesn't let anyone talk. Yeah, I'm not sure why he's going on, what the topic is, but I guess, I don't know, maybe he just wanted Joe to come on. I don't know. So extraordinary details about Mossad's plan to crown former Iranian President Ahmadinejad, who's currently under house arrest. According to the investigation, the former Mossad chief, David Barnea, personally traveled to Budapest to meet with Ahmadinejad face-to-face. This was part of a covert operation that Israel's conducted for years in an effort to cultivate Ahmadinejad. I mean, them publishing this stuff might get the guy killed. Have they even thought about that? Do they care? They just want to get the story out. They don't care if it caused them to kill him, right? Or are they just lying because they want to wipe him out? I mean, this could be like just whatever they want to call, like, disinformation, misinformation to kill the guy because he wouldn't go along with it. I mean, who knows? According to American sources, in recent years, Israel secretly paid for Ahmadinejad's housing and travels, and Mossad operatives met with him on several occasions. Like, they're trying to get him killed. Thomas Duncan says, enjoy the content, conversations. Much respect. Great job. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. He was on with Pisco, and Pisco annoyed Timmy too much. Joe just got to sit back and cruise. Wow. The report further details that Ahmadinejad himself underwent a major transformation after completing his term. He moderated his positions, toned down the anti-Israeli rhetoric, and even began presenting himself as a more moderate figure. He gave interviews criticizing Iran's security forces and government corruption, became involved in cultural issues, changed his style of dress, and began learning English. So, all right. So there it is. A car secreted the former president away to a safe house after the attack. So D-Land trying to die. Oh, is that about Germany? Oh, Germany. Oh, Germany. Oh, Germany. So I don't know. I mean, that could be true. Maybe he is a secret agent, but publishing that he's a secret agent is like basically putting a death warrant out for him. Pisco gave me cancer of the ears. What an idiot that dude is. Good logic used to provide a better show. It really went downhill. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. He's trying to figure out he's trying to make changes to his show. He's trying to improve things. First, his show stalled out for some reason. He's trying to make changes. That's why he has Cynic on Wednesdays, me on Thursdays. He's doing other things. He's trying to figure out how to keep growing and get better. So, malinformation, truth and facts that goes against the narratives of those in control and power. Yeah. So, a new heavily redacted FBI records obtained by Judicial Watch revealed that Hillary Clinton's late brother, Tony Rodham, was under federal investigation for wire and mail fraud while Hillary Clinton was First Lady. Uh-oh. That can't be good. That can't be good at all. At all. So, just so everybody's clear, I don't want anybody to be surprised. It's been 3 hours and 10 minutes. And we are still $97 away from a second additional hour. We've got about 20 minutes left of a show if we don't hit the 97. I don't think it's going to, you guys could, somebody might go ahead and say, sure, and they want the show to continue, but, not sure. Oh. Cool. So Judicial Watch dropped another bombshell after years of stonewalling. The conservative watchdog contained 77 pages of heavily redacted FBI records confirming that Tony Rodham was the subject of a 1996 criminal investigation for mail and wire fraud. The probe, opened by the Miami field office, designation reserved for wire fraud, focused on Rodham's involvement with East European imports in Coral Gables, Florida. What do you know? Whose show were you just talking about? I kept being interrupted by phone calls. I happened to come back when you're talking about someone trying to improve the show. Joe Neerman. Good logic. He's been trying to make, he's tried different things. He tried changing the time. He was starting at 7 at night and it didn't help. And he changing things around. And, he wants to do a better show. He doesn't know what to do. He's trying. So according to documents obtained from the East European Imports Company, they claimed exclusive U.S. rights to import Romanian Aro four-wheel drive vehicles. They solicited $30,000 deposits from auto dealers for exclusive franchises with balances due upon acceptance. No vehicles were ever imported, and the FBI concluded there was very little likelihood any Aro vehicles would ever arrive in the America. Worse, the subject had already run a nearly identical scam years earlier under the name of Roman Motors, which happened while Clinton was First Lady of the United States. Records detail that Tony Rodham traveled to Romania with the principals and met with Romanian officials and promoted the venture. Crucially, there were credible allegations that Rodham was directly told the associates had submitted fraudulent and inflated financial statements to Romanian authorities to bolster their credibility. Despite this warning, Rodham continued promoting EEI to the Romanian government as a legitimate importer. FBI itself flagged the obvious problem in black and white. Well, here's the thing. Why wasn't he charged for being a foreign he was lobbying foreign governments? Don't you need to have FARA if you're working with foreign governments, right? No? Right? Am I wrong? So they assume sensitive political aspects because it has been determined that Anthony Tony Rodham is the brother of Hillary Rodham Clinton, may have played a role in securing the ARO importation rights on behalf of EEI. After more than 2 decades of delay, the FBI records reveal a criminal investigation involving Hillary Clinton's brother and raises serious questions about what remains in the hidden government files. The FBI already admitted it possesses 13,000 additional pages of the responsive records on Tony Rodham, but they're hidden behind heavy redactions. Wow.
It's not clear to me, based on this document, whether Rodham was a subject or not, but it's clear he's implicated potentially in criminal conduct here. And the FBI is investigating it, and they were investigating it during the Clinton administration. And we're only finding out about it 30 years later, thanks to Judicial Watch. And it wasn't just a note, hey, by the way, Rodham may have been involved. They directed their colleagues in the FBI to ask the dealers who were being solicited, evidently, for deals and being asked for monies to be part of this program, if they had interactions with Rodham. Because later on in the document, I don't think we noticed this in the press release, but it's later in the document, all receiving offices, so I listed all those offices: Atlanta, Baltimore, Charlotte, Cincinnati, Columbia, Jacksonville, Louisville, Memphis, Miami, New Haven, New York, Norfolk, Philly, Pittsburgh, Richmond, Tampa. WMFO, I think that's probably the DC field office.
Yeah, it's been really hard to grow,
so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12. It's like 17, 18 offices. So this is a national investigation involving Hillary Clinton's brother by the FBI that is only being disclosed to you now by Judicial Watch as a result of a lawsuit that Judicial Watch filed for documents we first asked for 7 years ago. And this investigation is in some ways ancient history. It's 30 years old.
Wow.
So they asked all receiving offices should contact the auto dealers identified in the lead section, following and conduct an in-depth interview to determine the nature and extent of the dealer's business contacts with blank or any other representatives of EEI. Any documentation concerning the business transactions between the dealers and EEI, including contracts, canceled checks, or other correspondence, should also be obtained. Identify any other employees at the dealer's business who had contact with representatives of EEI, and interview those employees for additional pertinent information.
Wow, that's interesting. Very interesting. So let's go. Hopefully they'll get to the bottom of it and someone goes to jail. This is from Trump. It's an announcement that Trump made.
Oh, thank you very much.
About this Freedom 250.
And I've watched all three of you recently do very well. Thank you very well. Better you than me. I don't want to go 250 miles an hour with a 2 inches separating my car. I don't want to do that. But what you've done was incredible. The last couple of races, unprecedented events will take place next month, right here in our nation's capital on August 22nd and 23rd. It'll be an awesome display of American patriotism and raw horsepower and ingenuity. You're going to see cars at the level that they've never been at before, with cars racing more than 190 miles and even higher than that down Pennsylvania Avenue. It wasn't exactly designed for that, but what Sean Duffy's done with these incredible, brilliant people is really amazing. It's going to be a sight for the ages. It really will be something special. And they're going to go all around the National Mall at speeds that are not quite, if we did that during the regular day, I think people would be put in jail perhaps for the rest of their lives, right? It wasn't supposed to be that way, but it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful thing to watch. And this is the first racing event of its kind in Washington, D.C.'s history, happening as part of our great celebration of the 250th anniversary of American freedom.
Freedom 250, the Grand Prix of Washington, D.C., starting at the White House, racing down Pennsylvania Avenue through the National Mall. Experience the thrill.
With that, I'm going to have our driver, David Malukas, start that car. You're going to see this amazing pit crew here from Team Penske change 4 tires, fuel, in about 6.5 seconds. Let's see it, guys.
Wow. All right, well, we get the point. All right, cool. All right, let's get on to the next story here. So that's cool. If anyone's there, I think Rob said he's going to go. Should be a lot of fun if you're there. Should be. So naked Portland man attempts to kidnap a 7-year-old girl away from her mother in broad daylight. What? 31-year-old naked Portland man was charged with 1st and 2nd degree attempted kidnapping, 1st degree custodial interference, and 3rd degree assault and harassment after he allegedly attempted to kidnap a 7-year-old girl from her mother, according to Fox News. The outlet also reported that local police have received reports of a naked man running around Atomical Waterfront Park, and some callers saying the unclothed man had tried punching them in the head. However, no police officers responded to those calls. Of course not. Why would they? Why would they? They basically said don't call the cops unless you're going to die. That's how they keep the crime rates down. They just don't report it. All police officers were busy with other calls, they say. Portland authorities say the girl who was checked out by paramedics was not seriously injured and only suffered minor scratches after the kidnapper grabbed her arm and attempted to pull her away. Police say the girl's father attacked Vassy by punching, slapping, and pulling the suspect, which prompted him to release the girl. One bystander reportedly used pepper spray on him to prevent him from harming others. He then jumped into the river and was found naked in the water when police arrived. On the waterfront, on Havana, on the Wilmette, Portland is a cesspool. Yeah. Fox News reports the girl and her family were visiting from out of town. Authorities have not reported any other criminal history about the guy, and it remains unclear what led to the attack. Well, he's a fucking trying to kidnap a little girl, probably to rape him. He's a fucking queer weirdo, whatever, a creep. The additional details about the case are expected to emerge during court proceedings. Well, let's hope so. So let's hope they sentence him to a wood chipper therapy. Germany, where foreign nationals, despite composing 15% of the population, make up 53% of rape suspects. Wow, this is almost like the U.S. with this. There's another group in the U.S. that make up like 13% of the population that make up 50 to 60% of the crimes. Look, interesting. Usual suspects. Newly released crime figures show that foreign nationals, despite composing less than 15% of the population, make up a record 53% of suspects in gang rape cases. And they have reopened a debate about letting them into the country. They want them out. And there's a relationship between mass immigration and public safety and the protection of women. Fargo justice theory, yes. Yes, therapy, yes. 53, make it 85, yeah. I'd like to go. Robert is planning to go, with the only exception being new baby birth issues. The bobsledding team, yes. Bobsled them right into the wood chipper. So according to Focus Online, 751 cases under the special statistical category used to identify rapes committed by more than one person. The figures suggest that those are over 50% foreigners. Go figure. They have 574 non-German suspects represent 53% of the total. If it's 751 cases and 574 non-German suspects out of 751 cases, that seems like more than 53% to me. The same number, while another account at the same government data listed 578. Either way, foreign nationals constitute a majority of the suspects. Among the foreign nationals, Syrians formed the largest group with 110, followed by Afghans, Iraqis, and Turks. Yes, we need more vigilantes. Yes. Citizen vigilante is what's needed in Germany. Around 80% of the victims reportedly held German citizenship. Critics of the country's migration regime, the statistic has become impossible to separate from the wider question of who's paid the price for a decade of open border policies. The women and children have. That's who has, women and children. Women and children. Well, the figures refer to suspects, not people convicted in court. The AFD has demanded authorities go back further by recording not only citizenship but migration background. The issues become more politically significant as Germany has accelerated naturalization. Well, yeah, they naturalize them. They go, oh no, look, they're German. They're Germans. They're not them. AFD lawmakers said the persistence of such offenses demonstrates a political and institutional failure. Yeah. Prescription was equally direct. This requires consistent prosecution, faster procedures, harsher sanctions, and in the case of foreign perpetrators, consistent termination of residence. It's the only way women can be effectively protected from these acts. Yeah, get them out. For the German right, this represents common sense. Foreigners who commit rape, serious sexual violence, and other grave crimes should lose the privilege of remaining in Germany. Yeah, why not? Bavarian authorities created the EKO Kajal Investigative Commission to pursue sex crimes against girls and young women, as well as distribution of narcotics. The operation continued to expand with 10 suspects held in pretrial detention by early July. There you go. Get them out. Get them out of the country. In a recent case, a 21-year-old Syrian raped 2 girls aged 15 and 18 in a Nuremberg apartment. Wow, I wonder what the Nuremberg codes would say about that. Investigators also alleged that a 40-year-old Syrian had given the girls narcotics the previous evening. Huh. The pattern is chillingly familiar. Men are accused of approaching vulnerable girls, gaining their trust, and then introducing them to hard drugs, and then raping them. Wow. It's a severe failure in both countries. It's happening in Britain with grooming gangs. It's happening in Germany with just people doing, people from foreign countries coming in and raping women because they feel they're not worthy because they're infidels. That's what's happening. The first step that both authorities in the UK and Germany really are not doing is screening migrants. Yeah, get them out. Throw them out. Get them all out. Britain's already shown institutional cowardice. Officials found that police, councils, and social workers repeatedly failed vulnerable girls, while fears over community relations helped create a culture of hesitation and silence. Well, yeah, like the white kid who got stabbed, and they said, I don't think you are, mate, and let him die because the guy said he was racist. Remember? And what do you know? The British reform politician Anne Whitcomb's killing is now being treated as terrorism. The suspect was rearrested. Oh, yeah, the foreigner suspect. Europeans love America along with every other nation. World Cup exposed that. Yeah, totally. So, counterterrorism cops have taken over the investigation that local police tried to say was not politically motivated. Yeah. The counterterrorism police took over it, and they reported here that Whitcomb was found dead in her home, as you can read. And this morning, I've spoken with the head of the terrorism police. Following new information and evidence, they are now leading the investigation in the horrific murder of Anne Whitcomb. The police are pursuing multiple lines of inquiry to establish the motivation. The white British man arrested over the suspect has been rearrested. A 28-year-old white British man who was initially arrested for murder has been rearrested on suspicion of commission, preparation, or instigation of acts of terrorism. Reform Party UK on their part has been insisting the attack may have been motivated by Whitcomb's politics, a claim that is being vindicated. No one has the right to live, right to live their lives being protected from offense or hurt feelings. Yes, this is her.
Nobody has the right to live their lives being protected from offense or from insult or from hurt feelings. It is an occupational hazard of living in society. And if you really can't take it, become a hermit.
What is it? They have Mississippi issue, 4th issue with black. What's that about? I don't know what you're talking about. Hello, everyone. I don't mean to be offensive, but infidel women, girls are fair game in Islam. Yeah, well, that's what they think. That's what they say. That's how they act. Looks like I'm going to be a grandma again. Most likely be for tomorrow. This will be number 8. Well, that's awesome, Salty C. Congratulations. That is awesome. Thank you. Awesome. Teen murder suspect gets brutally beaten and stomped to death in a Mississippi jail. Since you brought up Mississippi, I thought I would talk about this story. This guy. Oh, he kind of looks like a Somali. Look at his head. He got that light bulb shaped head. A lot of Somalis have that light bulb shaped head for some reason. The leftists are nuts. A friend I would have married, she met a guy that went to a local college she attended. When Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, she freaked out. Oh, okay. Before. Most likely before tomorrow. This will be number 8. Oh, so tonight, maybe. As somebody pointed out, you do not drive 270 miles and just decide to kill someone. There was a purpose, and the cops tried to hide it. Yeah, totally. So a teen murder suspect who was killed inside a Mississippi jail just days after being arrested. The New York Post reported 18-year-old Mullian Butler was found brutally beaten and stomped to death inside the Raymond Detention Center. A shocking video that circulated on social media showed a person kicking Butler's limp, bloodied body as he lay on the floor of the jail. Butler was transported to Merritt Health, where he was pronounced dead. 2 days earlier, Butler had been busted on a murder charge for the fatal June 13th shooting of a 32-year-old Melvin Edwards. The incident occurred at a crime-ridden Pine Ridge Garden Apartments in Jackson. He was being held on $1 million bond. The autopsy later confirmed Butler passed away due to blunt force trauma. It appears he had shoe prints all over his head. Below is a local video report on Butler's murder.
Mylan Butler was at the Raymond Detention Center for only 2 days before he was killed. Jones says he feels this is street justice that was carried out inside of the jail.
Don't say street justice.
An 18-year-old murder suspect, Mylan Butler, is dead after Sheriff Tyree Jones says he was brutally beaten by other inmates inside the Raymond Detention Center. Sheriff Jones confirmed the inmates recorded the violence with an unauthorized cell phone, and it has been spread on social media.
That video is deeply troublesome, and that video is very, very concerning.
Butler was arrested on July 1st in connection to the shooting on Rebel Woods Drive that left 32-year-old Melvin Edwards dead. Jones said Butler's death may have been retaliation for that murder.
Remember, these are pretrial detainees. They are presumed innocent until proven guilty.
Jones says it has been hard for the sheriff's department to prevent things like this from happening because they just don't have the manpower. He says despite the federal takeover months ago, they are still struggling from decade-old problems. Back in 2022, a federal judge ordered a receiver over conditions that led to 7 deaths in the jail the year before.
We have been exhausted with the number of detainees that we're currently responsible for on a day-to-day basis, especially when your population has nearly doubled and your workforce has nearly declined by double over the last several years.
He says their stakeholders should be doing more to push these pretrial inmates through the criminal justice system so they are not just sitting in jail for long amounts of time. At this point, Sheriff Jones says they are not.
He was only in jail 2 days. What are you talking about? Is that too? You just? I guess you just want to let him go. Let
sure who
go.
Killed Butler and who snuck a phone into the jail, but the Hinds County Sheriff's Department and MBI have launched an investigation.
There were approximately 97 other detainees in that housing unit at the time that this incident occurred. So as you can see, this will be an extensive investigation.
I also reached out to the family of Mylan to see how they feel about this tragedy, but they did not respond.
How do you think they would feel? How do you think they would feel? How would you think they would feel about their kid getting killed? He was beaten to death by other detainees, street justice. So, probably saved the Mississippi taxpayers millions of dollars. Is Mississippi really this bad and confused? Some areas are, but I mean, I don't know. The guy he probably killed was probably a gang member or gang leader. An 18-year-old kills a 32-year-old. It's probably street justice. Glenn Croy says 100% from his head shape. I condone. You mind if we dance with your dates? It's a great scene from Animal House. You minds if we dance with your dates? Well, everybody, unfortunately, we did not hit the goal for the second hour, but I have great news. I'm going to send everybody over to see FFS, and I'm going to jump on there with Cynic and them and laugh at some idiots on the internet. Maybe they ought to make sure opposing gang members are not in the same jail. Well, they could do that. They don't have enough jails. Probably they should probably separate them for sure. And probably make sure that stuff doesn't happen. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. That's right. Have a great night, all. Thanks, Jim. Yes, I will see everybody back tomorrow night here on this channel at 7 p.m. Eastern time for Jim to tell you. But anyway, so I'm going to raid over to the FFS channel, and I'll be there. I'm going to jump on with them, and we're going to laugh at idiots. So if you want to go over there on YouTube or Rumble, or if you want to go check out Joe or something else, yes, let it work out itself. Prisoners often get inside information. Yeah, definitely. So come back tomorrow, 7 p.m. I want to thank you all. Please remember, hit the like, please subscribe. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being very enjoyable tonight, very informative, and for participating. We're having a lot of fun. We just want this channel to keep growing, get bigger and bigger, have a bigger audience, and just keep things moving. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Come back tomorrow for Jim to tell you the news.